Hello, everybody. How are you guys doing? Gonna be doing a little stream here, talking about some classic 3D mic maps. That's right. Talking about a little bit of 3D mic action. So, please join me. Tonight, we're gonna be discussing some good old classic maps. And of course, the legendary 3D mic is a lot to talk about with him. He's in the pantheon of really great level designers, as you know. We have to put him up with the likes of Nipper and Squall and a few other mappers, but I'd say those three are kind of the workhorses for early Counter-Strike level design. They inspired a lot of people. So we're gonna go talk about him, famous Dutch level designer. And before I move forward with talking about some of his works, I want to announce that I'm going to be running a Half-Life 1 mod LAN party with a friend of mine from years ago. We got together over for like last summer and did the first one, and it went off really well. This time we're going to be doing a 2-day event. It's August 16th through the 17th at the Beaverton Elks Lodge over here in Oregon. So if you're from the Pacific Northwest, feel free to drop by. I'll have a link in the description after I end the stream where you can check out for tickets and more information on the mods and what you need to bring. It's just, bring your computer. So that'll be a lot of fun. And if you like playing old Half-Life 1 mods, you need to check out Gold Source Saturdays. You can check out the link for them in the description. It's a Discord server. And there, every week we vote on like a new Half-Life 1 mod to play. And they got a lot of mods, so check it out. 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And join us. It's a lot of fun. We play Counter-Strike, so something to think about. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about good old 3D Mike. And I wanted to start off going through his levels in chronological order. Of course, this is CS Bikini, but we're not there yet. This one came out a little bit later time span for 3D Mike's level releases. But let me tell you, this thing is beautiful. I just load this map up and walk around it. It is truly magnificent for the era in which it came out. It's really, really impressive stuff. So, we'll go back to the very, very, very beginning. And if I made a mistake in chronicling these levels on their release, please let me know. So let's go start at the very first one. CS Cars. I'm gonna check this out. It's actually pretty aesthetic. It takes place in a car park. Turn off no clipping. Now, let me just say this right off the bat. You didn't get this type of attention to detail and aesthetics in early levels like this, and I believe this came out around 2001, so I don't have the exact date for it. I should ask Mr. Michael Visser, is his real name, about the dates. But I mean, just look at, for example, this little light here. He put a sprite in. How many level designers were doing that or are still doing that to this day? I mean, that's just impressive to me. Nice little smoke puff, little steam vent. Feel like you're kind of in Chicago or somewhere North American, maybe New York. But let's just pop up here real quick. As you can see, it's just a big compound, right? What's up, Zabad Medic? How are you? Just a big compound. Ooh, and can you hear that? Ooh, we got some industrial noises. Let's check out these alleyways. Of course, this is a climbable pipe. I love this. This, if you don't really know how to work a ladder into your levels, just put a damn pipe. People know what to do. Awesome. Cinema, what's up? So, check out this little alleyway where decorated crates, you know, not super creative. In fact, this was kind of a big a talking point when it came to level design back then. I remember going on Countermap and there was a tutorial on how to spice up your level without using crates, because crates are overused in just about every single map to create obstacles and barriers for you to hide behind and take cover. But, you know, of course, he worked in some trash cans here to kind of spice it up, so that works for me. Once again, we got these juicy steam puffs coming through floor. I love that. Some biohazard material barrels. And it just feels a little cramped in these alleyways, as you can tell. This is there's a lot of hiding spots. I could kind of feel the frustration of playing a level like this, to be honest with you. You know, you have like just so much geometry everywhere to hide behind. It seems like it would be a kind of a mess to fight in. I feel like you'd be getting shot in the back quite a bit. But I will hand it to him aesthetically. This is just, you know, it's really gorgeous, gorgeous level. And I love the graffiti, which let's circle back to the start here. You know, I just don't really recall a lot of levels putting this type of fidelity. And you might notice the Semtex tag here, which is what he always put into his levels. A little tiny ode to his sort of like, I think it must have been his alias at the time, or some sort of username to mark his work, because you would see that on his website. And by the way, his website is linked below. So if you're looking to hire this guy, you can actually do that still to this day. And let me tell you, even back then, his work was very impressive. I remember checking his website religiously when I was in high school, just to see what he was up to. It's just very impressive stuff. Oh, I think I recently found this map on one of those unofficial level pack CDs. That version might have been the original Fire Critic. Yeah, hey, if you got that, I would love to see a date and compare it with the one I have. Feels like a zombie map. Actually, it really does. It's kind of funny. It has enough hiding places and verticality to it that it could probably work for that. And yeah, a lot of verticality to it, right? So, and a lot of jumping. As you can see, I just don't feel like that's a standard thing for Counter-Strike, and this is understandable because it is a very early level. You know, people were experimenting with ideas. And it just calls back to that one thing where we were talking about how, like, you look at like a scene from a movie, or you're out to dinner somewhere, you know, or you're out at whatever location. You're like, would this make for a good Counter-Strike map? And I think this is just one of those things that, you know, spurred it on. So we're at the top, got an elevator shaft here. As you can see, like this map is just slammed with different ideas. Right, got a car park, alleyways, lots of verticality, construction sites, sprites littered throughout it. And look at these look at these cars. Right? The map name is CS Cars, of course. And I just gotta say, I love seeing stuff like this. It's just so crunchy looking. I really love it. And you can tell those are probably some European license plates, right? We're talking about a Dutch level designer here, kind of depicting a standard urban environment in North America. Just kind of funny to see that clash. Hey, you never know. Maybe there was like a European sort of, you know, car expo thing, or who knows what's going on here. But I love the way that looks. Got a nice little BMW here. And you know, this is a really impressive thing to do. I don't know if a lot of you guys have experimented with doing complex geometry in Valve Hammer, but it's a little bit of a learning process, and to get these angles cut in, right, to match these textures is just phenomenal. And I plan to do a tutorial on this one day, because texture design in these old games is super fascinating. I mean, I love it. When I was a kid, I walk around and take photos on my digital camera, you know, like a 3 megapixel camera. I don't even know what megapixel we're at these days, but that was enough to make a texture. You know, you get a little JPEG file in your on your camera, and then, you know, if you you have a legal version of Photoshop, you'd slap it in there and get it to the right dimensions, and then put it into into your Wally program and make a wad out of it. It's just super fun. So, and you know what's interesting, as we explore more of these levels, you're gonna see the fidelity of these textures and the car geometry get like massively upgraded. It still looks similar, but he does come a long way in his process when it comes to putting together the atmosphere of his levels. And one thing that's important to note with 3D Mike and his levels is that he was the supreme like atmosphere guy when it came to levels. Like you knew when you were playing a 3D Mike map, because you were just getting this unrivaled fidelity in his maps. And just for someone to jam pack a level and understand the engine to that degree to make a level look that good on this old of an engine, I mean, it was just super impressive stuff. It would be awesome. I really still kind of struggle with textures that use transparent background. Yeah, you know, I have a problem with that too. I sometimes get like little black bars on the borders, and I'm not sure why that is. It's kind of hoping to discover like a new program other than Wally to work with, but I mean, I guess Wally's like the standard and has been the standard for a long time. So I'd have to go check out TWHL. By the way, shout out to TWHL. I ask those guys questions like, my God, multiple times a year, and they always come through with great answers. Yeah, it looks like these cars just use stock photos for textures. Yeah, you know, I haven't confirmed that for sure, but he does. So, you know, 3D Mike is like a guy who he's really just a diehard creative. So he's well connected to that world of creatives, and you'll notice if you look through the TXT files of his maps, there are multiple credits for people who have supplied him textures. Could be sounds or maybe sprites. So, you know, realistically, did he go out there and take those photos? You know, possibly, right? Anyone could do that. Anyone could just, you know, find a car out there in the wild and take photos of it. You might kind of look like a weirdo, but I assume, you know, he must have went out there and took those photos himself. But back to my point, since he was so well connected with you know, other people in the art industry, I think he sourced some of these photos out to other people, and you know, a lot of these maps were not just creations of his own. He, you know, he had some people help him with that, and you can see that in DoD Stuka, which is his Day of Defeat level. He collaborated with a guy named Mini Boss. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but yeah, so he's well connected, and honestly, you know, sometimes you just can't do it on your own. You know, you got to have other people to help you make something bigger. Anyhow, we're moving down to the third level of the car park, and I just want to say right now, is this just not movie-esque to you guys? I mean, like the lighting here is, I love this. There's just something about a light green sort of basking in this, in sort of this green color that just speaks to that late 90s, early 2000s aesthetic, right? We got, and you might notice there's a tiny little sprite here just to add just a little panache. I just uploaded silly CSS video for memories, and after I watch it, your video, oh, awesome, dude. Nice, Hans. Hell yeah, dude. I mean, we need more people talking about old Valve games, man. So I'll be sure to check your stuff out. Thank you for letting me know. But so yeah, let me just walk around here. Let's just see what we're looking at here. Just basking in this light, and I can kind of feel a sense of, it's unnerving a little bit, right? I'm just trying to put my early like 2000s shoes on. Like, this car park is kind of creepy, right? There's lots of nooks and crannies. You're a CT, right? And your job is to go up to the top of this roof, and where are these hostages? Rescue these hostages. I mean, just walking through this just litany of cars, right? In this green lit, ominous car park. I think it would inspire a lot of anxiety. And this is kind of funny here. Guys, look at this. How many Counter-Strike maps do you know that have a first aid kit in them? That's just kind of weird. Let's see if it works. See if I can do a little damage and see how much health we can get back from it. Oh my god. Healing. Oh, there's a lot of health on that. That's very unconventional. And I think that thing right there really dates the level, because as Counter-Strike moved through its lifetime, you know, up till its like 1.6 release, I think less mappers were putting goofy stuff like that in it, because you kind of wanted a little bit of realism. You know, you didn't really want to give people like cheats, if you will. And I would say like adding a place to get health back in Counter-Strike is it's not a good look, to say the least. Let's see. This section has some very nice light. Oh yeah, absolutely. I love. Each one has its own little sprite to it. So like, as I'm backing up, kind of like dissipates and comes back in. I just love that. It's so beautiful. I always forget to do that in my own maps. I feel like that's such a great touch. Very cool looking map. Gotta love those little lens flare sprite. Yeah, yeah. Half-Life 1 first aid and don't think I've seen that outside of Black Mesa theme maps. Yeah. Yep, this is CS Cars, and of course, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about the trifecta of level designers, but it seems like Nipper, Squall, and 3D Mike were just obsessed with the A-Team, which is so funny that that's there. Without fail, that's like in every one of their, at least one of their levels. So that's very funny. But yeah, man, this is just such an anxiety-inducing level, right? And you're kind of twisted around in the layout, and I think that's what makes it really interesting. But as far as a gameplay perspective, I don't think that this would work very well. Let's see what this vent does over here. Let's pop in here. Okay, it just looks like it's a straight shot. So, and I have explored his levels before, and I'm like, you know, I'm just relearning a lot of them, you know. They're just super fascinating to look at. Also note that he's using a lot of Half-Life 1 textures. You notice, like, over the span of his mapping career, that starts to change, right? He starts kind of putting his nose to the grindstone, fixing or changing, you know, to complete custom textures for the entirety of his levels, which is really crazy. Let's see this door here. This is also a thing that early level designers kind of mess up on. Is this overlapping texture? It's we've all made this mistake. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have levels I've released that have that issue on them. So yeah, I think that's about it for CS cars. We're gonna go probably pop into the next one, which is out of chronological order, but just so you know, this was not the idealized version of this car park that 3D Mike wanted. He got, I believe he got feedback on this level, and the main complaint was, of course, the anxiety-inducing aspect of it. You're getting shot in the back, the layout is kind of confusing, so we're going to move on to the next map, which is CS Sealed. But before we do that, it's funny how this oops cleaning service appears in every single level. And actually, one more thing I want to do. Let's see if this is a CSDE map real quick. Never know if you spawn with a bomb or not. No bomb. All right. Let me catch up on chat. Yep, the team van. It's always there. Yeah, you could try it with bots. I think I probably like check it out with CZ bots. I should do that. It's a good idea. Why does it happen? I'm sorry, I forget. I don't know the context of that question, unfortunately. A lot of CS maps from 9901 made good use of Half-Life textures. I think so, yeah. I mean, you can still make a killer map with default Half-Life textures. Yep, the Z fighting issue on that door. Yep, it's oh yeah, source maps do have it too. I wonder if that's fixed in the newest build of the source engine. I'm really curious what it looks like in that. Do I have CS Sealed? Did I scroll past it? To be fair, it's not meant to be competitive. Yeah, and I'm not sure. You know, it's a really good comment because. By the way, did you guys see that fade in? Was that sick? Was that sick? Can we see that again? Oh my god. Dude, and the cycling camera. Oh man, this is just for a movie, dude. Let's load this up again. Okay, watch. Ooh, ooh. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's pretty nice. That is pretty freaking nice. I want to do that. Ooh, we just dropped in through some glass. Oh, right, because we're CTs, right? We're busting in, and we're going to go rescue the hosties. Absolute cinema, yes. But yeah, back to you, Ahmed, back to your point about it. To be fair, it's not meant to be played competitively. You know, since it came out so early, I think a lot of level designers were trying to figure out. I don't even know if it being a competitive. I don't know if Counter-Strike was being considered as a competitive game back then. So people were just kind of making whatever. Cool video. I played all these maps like probably 1,000 times back in the day. Really, I feel like I never really played CS cars much, but a lot of 3D Mike maps, the popular ones, I did play. Yeah. Back when pub servers were a thing. I was talking about door overlapping. Oh, okay. CZ bots are only bots that work for me. Every version of PopBot I've tried crashes my game. Bot spawned for. Oh, okay. Yeah. I still use pod for 1.6, especially for like if I'm making a video, because like I can sort of get them to work, but they're kind of frustrating, to be honest. Yeah, that fade in is so sick. I need to see how he did that. I've seen some custom source maps that fade in. I think probably some zombie riot maps. That's just like, that's Kino. That's really awesome looking. I love that. Let's play outside. Interesting. So now we're kind of seeing some new textures pop in here. I think this is the default Cheez-Its texture, but it's been changed, been altered to be like monochrome with a little bit of purple. Interesting. So I think the main difference between this map and CS Cars is that there's no exterior access now. So we're still walking around this car park. And, you know, I still think it's pretty anxiety-inducing still. Let's see, is this vent do anything special? No, it's just a straight shot. Okay. So it's still an anxiety-inducing, you know, if you feel like all this concrete is closing in on you. It's, there's a lot of places to hide. Let's see what this elevator shaft looks like. Still, oh, you can climb these. Okay. Ooh, that's a tricky little ladder there. Oh my god. He's lighting the green. Oh, wait, there's some exterior access. Let's see what this looks like out here. Is it condensed, right? Because last time we had those alleyways. Let's see. Okay, yes, there is outside access. But it does seem to be a little more condensed. If we go all the way down to the back here, yeah, you can't loop around the entire building. You can only go on that one side over there. And did I see a little bike? Let's see what this is about. Damn. That is crunchy looking, isn't it? Can you break it now? Man, that'd be so cool if it was breakable. Look at that, it's invisible. I love seeing stuff like this. It's so funny. Look at that little floating little speck there. I love that. It actually turned out okay. You know, I'm sure you could, with a few more megapixels, you could squeeze a little more fidelity out of that thing, but it's so funny looking. Good job. Good job. I'm thinking that's got to be somewhere out of the Netherlands, right? Because I haven't seen anything like that in North America. Like I said, this level is it speaks to like an urban environment in North America, but that I don't think we spell glass like that here stateside. There's a lot of obstacles going on here. Got some entryways inside and out, and I would still argue that this would be a very, very frustrating map to play against people. Here's the second floor of the car park. Once again, I like that kind of green. Ooh, little canister here. Let's see what happens, guys. Let's see, let me stand back here. This seems safe spot. Ooh. Ooh. Nice. And oh wow, there's like a sprite. There's a whoa, how is it fading like that? That's really impressive. Do you see that? Wonder how they achieved that. So does this hurt us? Nope. I'm just standing on top of it. Standing on it. Really cool looking though. That's awesome. I wonder if there's more of those. Let's see. I'm new to your channel. You did a nice job on the rats map video. Because of it, I started my CS1. Okay, nice, dude. Yeah. Hey, feel free to post work in progress updates on the Discord. We're always like helping each other out, discussing our designs and everything. So that's cool. I'm glad I'm sort of incentivizing people to pick up projects for the game again. And I'm always amazed because you can log on to Game Banana every day and people are still posting like 1.6 maps that they're creating. It's super cool. So I'm glad the ecosystem is maintaining or hopefully growing. So we can't go outside here. In fact, let's just go and look outside real quick, right? Ooh, I love going out of bounds. That's so much fun. Not much going on here, it looks like. This is always so fun. I just love like no clipping out of bounds, just seeing what's up. You never know what you'll find, right? Like, you know, maybe there's like a little secret hidden somewhere or something like that. You never know. Interesting. Not much. He should have put something, you know, little ode somewhere. And I'm actually not sure if this map has a secret little like Easter egg in it. Haven't explored that much, but yeah, once again, it's just a really kind of a cramped space. I imagine you can get shot in the back, but less so than CS Cars. So That's pretty cool. I think that this one, gameplay-wise, would be much better than CS Cars. So, and then I also have like a mystery level here. I'm not sure if these are like the same thing, but there's CS Cars with 1Z and then CS Cars with 3Zs. So maybe let's just peep that real quick. Oh, I know this map. This is this is like an early like punk vehicle map. This is not a 3D mic map. Woo! Anyone remember this? This is fun. Oh yeah, we're cruising, baby. Definitely not a 3D mic map though. But this is pretty neat. Yeah. Ooh, I made it. Woo. Okay. Anyway. Now we're gonna check out a really interesting level. It's called CS Woods. And I did showcase this, I believe, last stream, but we're gonna explore it in a little more detail. Let me buy some night vision because it is a very, very dark level. Oops, I don't have enough money for that. Let's make the starting money a little more. And check it out. Catch up on chat here. Just stand somewhere safe, because in this level, you can't stand in spawn, unfortunately. Let's take the M4. You can't stand in the spawn. It's like an AFK sort of thingy. This will close. I'll just stand here while I read chat and you guys can see it. Let's see. Yeah, the exterior lighting was better. See, it just closed. What's going on there? I don't know. It's weird. That reminds you of Timmy Turner's hat on that bike. Yes, destructible stuff in maps is awesome, especially that explosion, because you can imagine like a stray bullet just flying through that car park and just hitting that van. Yep, actually wasn't it called CS Banana, then FPS Banana, then Game Banana? We'd have to ask Yellow Jello to figure that out, but not a map editor, just made a server again with themes like winter event, Spooktober. Okay, nice. Yeah, dude, that's always fun. Or yeah, right now a lot of people have like converted even like default maps to like winter versions and stuff like that. It's always fun. So still remember all the console commands? That's good. You know, it's like riding a bike. You can't forget. Okay, so yeah, you get with this map, you kind of get locked in to the spawn, and I believe it kills you. So and this is interesting. I think this is 3D Mike's second map. I can't be sure, but here's another med pack in this van here, or this truck rather. And this is a kind of a cool feature here. You can press E on this to turn the lights off. We got these big booming lights coming from the front of the truck. It's kind of interesting. Now, one of my favorite features about this map, check this out. Climbable friggin' trees. Okay, and I'm standing on like the branches here. So you can imagine, you know, if you once you see the whole layout of the level, if a T gets around you, they can hide up here while you're trying to rescue the hostages. And by the way, rescuing the hostages in this map kind of sucks. I'm gonna say it's like the layout is so bumpy but aesthetically I love this. It just feels like a playground for like, you know, it just feels like 3D Mike's playground for what I don't know what he was feeling. This was like a real like he wanted to make something out of a movie. And I just like looking into the black of this forest is pretty frightening. But at the moment I have a headache because RTV and rank on AMX mod does not work, sadly. You could go to the AMX guys have a Discord server. You could ask in there. They might be able to help you fix it. I'm not the best at server fixing. So I'm not sure I could help you. But anyway, let's walk through the old forest here. We're going into the next quadrant of the level. And you might notice you can hear some, like, some birds. I feel like I'm in up the Predator movie. And you see this little tripwire here? Gotta watch out for that guy, right? We got this cool bunker. Let's walk over this, see what happens. Ooh, that hurt. That probably would have killed me if I was any closer to it. So yeah, let's go inside this bunker. And it looks like there's a door here. That's kind of weird. I don't think there's any like way to get out of this place once you're in here. with the button being on the outside only. And this is a chute here. Ooh, how do we get that open? Let's see, what do we got there? A scout, an op, auto sniper. If we go up here, let's say someone locks themselves inside, you can just toss a grenade down in there and hopefully kill them. Or at least do a little bit of damage, that is. And I see there's a bunch of grenades up here that you can restock on to destroy the enemy within. That's so much fun. So a little bunker here. And then we got sort of this weird, like, cliff action going on. So we're gonna go up. Oh shoot, I triggered the... I triggered the trip. I didn't think that would explode twice. This must be some really resilient explosives. Let's grab another nade just in case. All right, oh, I need some night vision. Don't want to forget that. Okay, good. Let's go. Silencer on, baby. We're going to the jungle. Walking through. I go loop around here and go up this ramp. And I love hearing those birds. You really feel like, this is like there's something around. There's something around the corner. Ooh. Whoa! Did you see that shaking? That was weird. So now we got this like random sort of. I don't know what this is. Some sort of compound. Get in here. Very dark. Can't access that. That doesn't open. Okay, a ladder. Well, this is a very unconventional. I have no idea what's going on here. I believe there's a way to activate something cool with this this tower here. Let's see if you have to blow something up. I'm not sure, guys. Let's toss another nade. I remember there's like something you can trigger. There's this. Let's see if we can blow up this outhouse here. This is like a random like object here in this level. It's so weird. Get some more ammo. There we go. Just like, why is that in there? It's just fun. But, I'm still trying to... Oh, okay, I think... Oh, I know how to do this now. This one's nice. This one has, like, actual doors you can close and open from the inside. Alright. We'll come back to that. But, yeah, once again, just to keep the layout sort of in your mind, this was the bunker. So now... Ooh, watch out for that tripwire. And we're gonna go... into T-spawn. T-spawn is this swampy, dimly lit. Look at the water. It's so dirty and gross. And of course, the A-team makes a appearance again. I think this is a much more high fidelity texture. I think they figured it out at this point. Let me see. Shaking was the door closing in spawn. Oh, you're right, Joel. You're right. What's up, Yellow Jello? How are you? Born Anomaly checking. Hey, dude. Good to see ya. This is T-Spawn. There's little movie posters here. You'd say movie posters, maybe. 3D Mike tagging himself. And there's the hostages.
Let's go.
So as you might imagine, they're a little bit hard to rescue. I think it's just 2 of them. So we're gonna go try and rescue these hostages. Let's see if they'll just follow me down in here. Okay, night vision on. Let's hope, oh, see, nope. Nope, they're not gonna follow me. Yeah. Might not work. Let's see if we can push them. But could you imagine doing this in a real game? This might be kind of a mess. I'm not sure how extensively this level was tested for. Oh boy. Yeah, oh yeah, they can't move that way. Let's see. Will they follow me at least this way? Let's turn the night vision back on. So this is such a dark level. It's hard to see what's going on. So now we're gonna go toward the mine shaft, and this is kind of a cool sunken sort of chamber. Hopefully these hostages will follow me. All right, we're just gonna go through this like little mine shaft area. Now something fun about this map is that you really have to watch your step, because I believe there's a pitfall somewhere. Oh, yeah, there it is. It killed me. Yeah, it's a super big level. Let me grab an M4 again, or let's see. Let's buy the night vision again. All right. Grab another grenade. On Squall's Christmas version of Walmart, if you press the use key on the 18 van, it plays the song. Curious if any of this... Yes, there is one map I'll show you. We got 2 more to look at, and then I'll show you that Easter egg. It's on CS Junior. Okay, so the van is like 2 times taller than you. Yeah, it's super comically oversized. We're gonna go back to the tower here, and I'm gonna show you the little Easter egg. Hopefully I can trigger it. I can't recall exactly how I did it, but open. Okay, toss one of those guys in there. Let's see, are there any more grenades up here? Maybe it's this. Oh yeah. No? I forget how you trigger this. There's like a big electrical storm that will happen if you break something. Let's see, where'd the rest of those grenades go? They're like over here. Let's grab another grenade. See if we can blow this thing up. I'm just not getting it to work. Let's see if we can try again. I might have to buy a para. Get what part of this is destructible. You know what would be a good... Let's test it. Because sometimes when you slash on destructible objects, they'll make noises. Ah, here it is. Oh, there it is. Oh shit, I gotta get out of here. There it is. Okay, watch this. This is crazy. Whoa! Oh my god! Isn't that nuts? That's just nuts to me. I can't... How many maps do that, right? That was cinematic. Notice it's all destroyed now. And honestly, what this says to me more than anything is that 3D Mike was trying to experiment with environmental changes within levels. You know, kind of getting that under his belt. And this looks really, really sweet, right? Everything is just annihilated now. I wonder where these things came from. I wonder if they're like... These pieces of geometry are like on a train and they get triggered to like be teleported in, you know, when you break that thing. So really, really neat stuff. So I think that's all I wanted to show you about CS Woods. This is my favorite part of this level, and unfortunately it's kind of out of the way where you wouldn't normally mess with it in that corner there. So I don't know. I just thought that was really cool. Even though I played CS Source more often, I still have an appreciation for 1.6 maps. That's what I love to hear, Chief Wiggum. You know, I think a lot of the levels for this map are just like beautiful art pieces in a time where the graphics were a little more crunchy. You know, jungle maps are such a vibe in CS in Gold Source. Yes, and we're gonna check out DE Predator 2, which is actually next on the list. So go check that out. Actually played 1.6 before Source very briefly, but my copy was like bootleg or something. Had broken bots, and the only memory from that period was someone being on the rat. Yep, those were likely played, especially rats maps. I think everybody in Romania has a copy of of DE rats on their hard drive. Let's see, DE Predator. Let's see. Swamp environments and gold source are always so comfy. Same with wintry environments. Yeah, I think gold source and winter environments are just like, they just sync up so well. Played a little bit more later on, early 2010s on the official Steam release. Yes. Always get a legal copy of the game if you can. Always. That's pretty cool. Yes, I love that explosion thing. It's so awesome. I also want to try out Team Fortress Classic. I've seen some weird maps on there too. Yeah, TFC is great for that because they were like one of the only games before Sven Co-op came out that sort of supported single player entities in a multiplayer environment. So you have like a lot of storyline maps in that game, and that's like a can of worms on its own. It'd be a great subject for someone to cover in a video, because there are maps on there still being played today on fun map servers where you can honestly just have a really good time trying to unlock the mysteries of a certain level. Do you think I played a part in Cyber Rat being taken down? I still have a bad feeling in the back of my mind since it shut down like 2 months after I posted my Chris Spain article. I don't think so. I feel like that would have been an incentive for him to keep the web page up, if anything. Because I assume these days he's probably not getting a whole lot of traffic, and an article like that, and you know, the video of course probably incentivized some traffic back there, but I don't know. In my gut tells me that a lot of these level designers who are hosting websites are like, you know, it's just not bringing in traffic, and it's probably just costing. And I also like the interest for like old levels and whatnot are just not maybe there in their perspective, but I don't know. I don't think you're at fault for that, in my opinion. So I wouldn't worry yourself that much over that. I haven't played much Source, but I wish I did. I played a lot of CZ. It was on CZ until CSGO launched. Small community. Yep, I still play CZ for the Bones game server. You should check that server out. That's so much fun. I think the server is called Cab Plain Old Bones. That is so much fun to me. I still play that after having like a few drinks or something. It's like, it's such a great time. Yep, adventure maps. That's what they're called in TFC. They're a lot of fun. Like all of a sudden there was traffic on the page and then it went away. Yeah, he must have, maybe the article missed him, and I don't know, maybe we should email him. You should email him. See if he'd bring it back. Played CZ before I discovered how to add 1.6 and had them built in. It was basically everything 1.6 cross. Yeah, exactly. I did that too, especially when I was younger, so. Okay, so anyway, let's talk about DE Predator. This is, you know, of course, one of the early levels that 3D Mike put out. You may notice we're getting a lot more custom textures in this map. There's still some, you know, Half-Life textures in it, of course, like this gate, or that might be from Seastrike.wad, but I'm not sure. But yeah, a lot of it has been overhauled with custom textures. This is a bomb site here, and the layout is pretty nice. It's like a 3-lane layout, so it's similar to what you would see in DE Dust. And I can't recall for sure, but in a interview I read from like the early 2000s, 3D Mike saw the success of DE Dust 2, and he just got this hunger in him to create something on par, if not more popular than DE Dust 2. And little did he know at the time the popularity of DE Dust 2, it would be like near impossible to make a map more popular than that. DE Dust 2 is in virtually every single game that supports custom level design. So, you know, it's it's just kind of shocking, right? Because yeah, it would be really hard to beat a level more popular than that. And this is what he was trying to achieve with this level specifically, from what I remember. I can't really paraphrase from it either. I'll have to find that article at another time, but I think you can dig it up. It's on GameSpy. GameSpy, I think, did an interview with him. And yeah, so he saw how successful DE Dust 2 was with the layout and wanted to create a level that would sort of stand up against DE Dust 2 and you know, have his little slice of the pie, having a successful map like that. And DE Predator, for a time, it was played. And honestly, look at it. It's beautiful. Notice this. He's got the sprite work in the sky, right? It's just so beautiful. A lot of maps just don't do that. And one thing I will say about like lens flare in games. So I'm a big fan of Battlefield games. And one of the problems I have with newer Battlefield games is that it's like everything is just shining in your freaking eyes all the time. And I can't play them very well, you know? Maybe I'm old, but I just like everything's just like flashing at you, and there's like just all this overload of, you know, sensory overload. But this is a good balance when it comes to lighting and lens flare and giving your level that je ne sais quoi. I think this is just perfect, and it just really, it kind of, you can feel like you can breathe the mustiness of this jungle when you're walking through it, how it's all green lit. Once again, that late 90s, early 2000s green aesthetic. I love how present it is in this level. It's so beautiful. Got a little door. I remember playing one of those cab servers once. I got kicked for accident. Yeah, that'll happen. Unfortunately, it's so cool in that Bones server. If you throw your weapon at an enemy or a teammate, it'll kill them. So now you know, in case you run out of ammo playing there. I think the fence texture is default. Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember if it was Half-Life or Sea Strike. It's impossible to be more popular than DE Dust 2. Yeah, absolutely. You can't get more popular than that. I've seen Dust 2 on PC version of COD 4 before, right? Because you can edit custom levels for that. I've seen that. Let's see. I think COD 4, last COD, had proper mod support. World at War as well. Modern Warfare 3 server browser, but not sure. Custom maps. Cheers, Crazy. Thanks for doing these streams. Hey, Freeman. Thank you for coming by. Of course, I'm trying to maybe do one once a week, if I have the gusto and energy. But I have so many topics that I can't get around to making a video for right now. I'm just not there yet. But so this is sort of like a live format version of, you know, if I would make a video, if you will. And I think that this is a little more fun to do it in a live stream format, because I get to interact with you guys in real time, and that's pretty fun. Also, I get to elaborate on more points and go on tangents, and like you can't beat that. Honestly, like before I did like videos, I really wanted to be a live streamer, and I think that this is so much more fun to me, honestly. I like the interaction part of this stuff. So, what map? This is DE_Predator. Hans Fury. I'd like to know what plugin does that. Does what? The hook? It's a hook mod or a meta mod. Modern Warfare 2 2009 worst PC version. Yeah, oh my god, I played that and it's filled with hackers now, so Ocarina of Time, yeah, Kokiri Forest, yeah, it actually really does have that vibe to it, huh? I think it's just how like everything sort of glows, right? It's like very whimsical, you could say. It's like kind of fairy-esque, and there's little pitfalls here, so you have to watch your step. And this is honestly one of these things are probably a big reason why. Oh, it triggers that falling guy noise. Oh my god, that's burned into my memory hearing that in the servers. I think like environmental hurt things like this are that sound again, it's so ridiculous. Are kind of the reason why a map like this wouldn't enter the same realm as DE Dust, because when you look at something like DE Dust as a default map, there's no environmental hazards, right? It's like the environmental hazard is the enemy team, or maybe a teammate if you have team killing enabled. So I think for that reason, you know, you have to take environmental hazards out of your map, otherwise they're not going to be played competitively, or maybe enter the Hall of Famer zeitgeist for, you know, maps that people want to play on as much. They're just kind of in the way, you know. So, but I love that he adopted the climbable tree action in this map, just like he did in CS Woods, because who doesn't love this? This is so cool. Right, if you get up here with an op and you're just kind of being real sneaky, oh man, that's got to feel awesome. Here's another interesting aspect about this level. When you hear DE Predator, you might think of that 80s action film with Arnold, right? But in the interview that I read, he didn't actually name this level or was inspired to make this level from the movie. He just wanted to make a forest. Now, do I believe him? Do I believe the guy? Oh, I don't know. This seems like the jungle out of the Predator movie, if you ask me. So, I don't know about that. I don't think I trust him on that too much. So, have you played any of the Toon-styled maps? Obviously, yep, I've played a few of those. I don't know much about the authors though, so that's something I should look into. Talking about throwing a gun at an enemy to kill them. Oh yeah, I don't know what that plugin's called. But you probably get in touch with one of the regulars on those servers to figure out you know, what plugins they use. Here's a tripwire. About half damage. Pretty juicy. Tiger pits, that's what they call them. Huh, I didn't know that. I've played a ton of those Simpsons maps, gun games, and CSS. Some of them were literally just regular GG maps, but retextured vaguely to be Simpsons. Let's see. I like to think that including environmental hazards on a map can make a map insured to he use more casual fun. Yeah. I suppose when you do put environmental hazards, it does kind of poison the map as, you know, like it's just for fun instead of competitive. So I think you're probably right about that. I believe this box is explodable. Okay, you got a little corridor here and it leads up to the bunker. And by the way, wow, look at that. Is that not sweet or what? That looks so cool. Oh my gosh. I love that. That just like ever so slight glow of the sprite. You can hear these like Half-Life textures. The beep beep beep. Love that. Wonderful. So I think that's about it for DE Predator. I think it's a really beautiful map. As far as like, you know, trying to like minimize the chaos of CS cars, sealed, and woods, this was like a great step in the right direction for making something a little more gameplay flow oriented that matches Counter-Strike. I think it looks great. So we're probably going to move on to the next one, which is DE Survivor. And as you know, this appeared in the, I believe, beta version of Counter-Strike and remained in the game until the retail release, and of course 1.6. Tiger Pits. Let me check real quick. Temple of Toon. Of course, we're going to play CT on this map. I think of a lot of CS Source custom maps I remember coming across then in zombie servers. Yeah, there was like a time when we didn't really have zombie maps. They were just using like any level that they wanted. But yeah, now we have very focused maps for that type of game mode. They usually have spikes at the bottom. They're called Tiger Pits. Okay, hey, now I know. A weird obsession with zombie servers when I was younger, to the point where I archived every zombie skin on it. Yeah, that's cool. You should upload them to Game Banana. They're not on there already. Perhaps I'm tuning my own horn too much, but have you looked into maps from my other Gold Source projects? I always feel like Fallen and Skim maps get criminally overlooked. Yeah, you know, I have downloaded those maps and that you've archived. So I should probably do a stream about those too. Like G-Man's levels are something everyone loves. You know, all the Star Wars levels and whatnot. And I don't know, my favorite map of his is the cable cars. So we'll have to do another stream at some point then. This is a bad medic. This is your favorite classic map? Yeah, it's a good choice, man. Came across custom maps back then from weapon skin preview videos, and by searching, yep, the pipeline is easy like that. Here's something cool. This is just what 3D Mike does with his Gold Source levels. He adds these sprites, right? And you really get an extra little atmospheric boost. I feel cold playing this map, and I think it's so fitting for winter time that we're discussing this level. But isn't this sweet? Does anybody even go up here? I love this. And these wonderful trees. I just love the texture work on this. And you can see where like the blue, the 255 index is like bleeding through on the tree, but that's just that happens to everyone who's making these. Just love how crunchy. They just look crunchy, you know? Love that. It's so beautiful. I believe this is a default texture out of Half-Life that he just kind of spruced up with some like frosty little magic. That too. And you gotta appreciate the sprite-based snowfall. And I came across an interesting plugin on the AMX ModX site where you can actually replace all the sprites, the snow sprites in this level, with the actual ENV snow, so it actually looks like realistic snowfall. Thought that was pretty neat, because I guess there were some complaints about whenever servers played this map about having these like kind of goofy sort of sprites for the snow. But honestly, that's the best of magic that we could do at the time. So I believe we discussed it before, but I think when CZ came out, they put in the actual snowfall. So this was a fun technique people use. I believe Nipper used this technique and a few others to kind of establish the aesthetic of snowfall. Lanimax, I believe that's 3D Mike's 3D animation studio. And I remember there being a website for that, and you could commission him for all sorts of work there. Of course, I was young and didn't have enough money to commission him for anything, so just another website you checked when you logged on back then. Believe this is a bomb site here, so you plant truck. Nice truck, by the way. Look at that texturing, huh? This thing is beefy. It really looks wonderful. I really like this thing. Wonder how I just wonder what his texturing method was for this. It looks really awesome. Oh, look, it's on his mud flaps here. It says 3D Mike. I didn't notice that before. That's funny. All these little details. So this truck must have just slammed into sort of a snowbank during during a blizzard and stalled out. I can only wonder what the terrorists are trying to bomb inside of this thing, right? What could be so important about Blinn and Juro and Scud? Starvin. Oh, 3D Mike. There must be some very important documents in here. What? So, I wonder who these people are. Wonder if they're accredited in the map txt file. RA7. I don't know. Has anyone ever really paid attention to this stuff? Huh. Curious. X-Men, yep, Christmas classic. Imagine the future where there's some kind of temperature that can be put in the room that changes depending on the map environment. Oh yeah, that'd be cool. I wonder if they're doing that for the new HLX. I mostly played Source, but man, when I finally get loaded up on CS Office and it's easy to install, it hit me like a ton of bricks. That's right. I love giving people a little dose of nostalgia, incentivizing them to load the game up again. Check out this ravine. Got that little hawk circling around. This is like the coolest part of the level, right? Like this is straight up cinema right here. Just realized if Crazy was about 12 in 2003, that would mean he's over 30. Yeah, I'm 33 right now, so I'm getting up there, man. I'm old man. Golden Source, a time capsule. Oh yeah, yeah. That truck is just brushwork. It's just strictly brushes. You can see it's just so nice and blocky like that. It's really beautiful looking. Okay, we're going back to the ravine. I like these crystals. This is like, it just seems a little random and out of place because I don't really know where in the world during, like a quaint little icy town where something like this would emerge. This looks like something you'd find in a cave, but damn, does it look freaking sweet, right? And I like how he put like lighting. He put lighting in these little, gosh, how do you say that? Stalagmites? Stalactites? I'm not sure how you say that word, but just kind of gives them that extra little fancy glow. And I believe these are just brushwork too. These don't look like 3D models, so interesting clipping on them. They must be illusionary. And then they're clipped out. And they kind of have this weird rendering about them. Wonder what's up with that. I have no idea what option he did to make them look like that. Because some of them look solid, but then they all kind of look translucent, so a really fascinating design choice. Once again, that sprite just kind of making everything pop. I like how every like player you fight in this map is pretty visible. That's what I love best about winter maps. They're just easy on the eyes when it comes to the fighting. Yeah, Photoshop was probably used for a lot of like early Photoshop. Hey Nipper, I used to use the texture on Nipper House custom sprites were a pain because people couldn't download them off the server. Oh really? My gosh, I could imagine that'd be really frustrating. But like look at this snow, right? See how it's just like going, it's just like it's going straight vertical. That must be some heavy wind blowing. But yeah, this is the best we could do at the time before ENV snow was put in. But it looks so funny looking at it from this angle, but gosh, it's just so beautiful. Scott, oh, those are all authors. Okay. 3D Mike himself is the valuable cargo. Yeah, he's in there. They all make maps and textures. Okay, I have to check them out. CC Office is probably the best looking Gold Source version of the map. Yeah, that is a really good looking one. Round reset. How have I never seen this map? It's fantastic. Yeah, it is. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's a default map. You can believe it or not. Oh man, last Friday I managed to get a 5v5 on Survivor with a friend. That's pretty cool. Some servers still cycle this map, so you might get a round in every once in a while. Stalagmites are on the ground. Stalactites. Ah, I learned something today. Thank you for that. Oh, they're slightly transparent. It's a really cool effect. Yeah, those crystals look amazing. However, I wondered how on Blah you cannot see through the sky in T-Spawn. Prefer the sprite. You do prefer the sprite, Snow? Also, it's kind of funny. Over in this section, there's no sprite snow. Did you notice that? And it's got to be because the like the openness. You'll notice that like over here, the snow is sort of in a corridor, so you can kind of get away with it. But in this really open space, might be hard to manage that snow. But look at this plane. This is just incredible looking. I wonder how he sourced the textures for this. It's just magnificent looking. Oops, air, and there's a little Dutch flag. So beautiful looking. And the geometry on this must have been very, very difficult to manage. I can kind of see what he did here. Also notice, like, when you do get a little bit too complex with the geometry in Gold Source, you start getting these hard edges, and the compiler just kind of has to fudge it a little bit. We've come a long way, right? You can kind of see the little trapezoid there. But other than that, I mean, this just looks phenomenal. A lot of great texturing work here for this. Love the interior of this plane. Kind of small, but an airplane should feel cramped. It's got a lot of people around. Just love the little like debris. And you hear that wolf? You hear that wolf? Ooh, scary. You feel like you're not only are you fighting an enemy force here, but you could potentially be hunted by the wildlife. Really, really creepy. And I know a lot of people note that this is like the spookiest little map in Counter-Strike, but honestly, I think it's kind of comfy. Let's go check out the Easter egg. So that must be his wife, and I believe that's Rick. Little 3D Rick. So cool to see this. See if that email still works. Lan Maniacs. So yeah, there it is. Oh yeah, Yellow Jello. This is these must be all the names that were featured inside of the truck. Oops Clan. Rick, my little big man. That's so fun. That's so cool. I like seeing little odes like that. I love that. So now we're in the little town here. Nice atmosphere. And you can only wonder, like, this car is still running. Why was the town just abandoned? This brushwork here is just phenomenal. Like, to really see this, like, snowed in car, it's like, you know, you can really feel like it's been there for a while. Love how he paid attention to, like, the tops of surfaces being covered with snow. Like, even on this ledge. And then, you know, just like a little tiny piece of geometry here, like where snow would accumulate. Just like, I love that. It's so beautiful. Of course, he's got the graffiti on the wall too. And this slight tilt of this pole, you can tell that this van collided with it at one point. Let's go up here. Check out the interior. The only crate in the map. I think I talked about this last stream, but, you know, there was sort of, there was this thing called map pimpage that 3D Mike was a part of, and it was like sort of like a forum where you could pimp your map. And so they'd offer like criticism and critique the levels and whatnot. And I think a big discussion back then was people, like level designers, cheaping out on their cover with crates. So I think this was like a cheeky little, you know, slap back in that conversation, being like, this is the only crate in the level, because, you know, of course, all these level designers were trying to figure out ways to make cover, and they're mainly using crates. So yes, I love that little ode there, and I believe I'm correct about that, but I could be mistaken. Here's the A team again, once again. The trifecta of level designers, Squall, Nipper, and 3D Mike, just Loving that A team. So much fun to see. Yep. Shooting that. Oops air, Ryan air, merger win. One fun thing about this map is the little sounds that play at the round start. Yeah, that big synth, whatever that is, it's really cool. I think we all played CS when we were technically too young for it. Probably one of those canopsia liminal space type moments. This little section of town map is probably my favorite part of it. Yeah, I think this is really cool. I think the ravine might be my favorite part, but I love this little town. I almost feel like this could be like a cool rats map, couldn't it? Like if you were like a really tiny little rat, you know, fighting in the corridor here of the Survivor. I might just have to make a new map, guys. This is so sweet looking. Plane crash and a truck were both passing through at the same time. It just so happened to be bomb targets. Hey, counter edits, how are you? Probably best that they evacuated. Yeah, I think there was something going on here where the whole town needed to leave. Map has a vague, silent, hillish vibe to it. It's empty, minus the fog and medium darkness. Yeah, that does. I think, yeah, but the emptiness and just even walking around it on my own is like, no, I feel like something's gonna pop out at me. Yeah, crates were a stereotypical thing in CS back then. Yep. GG map based on this section would be cool. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet. Probably see if AI could generate, you know, more of the town or something. If we could extend the universe. But yeah, let's look at this sign. Ski glacier. And this is one of the coolest things about the aesthetic of this level. I believe this is one of those animating textures, because I can see that the texture is changing, and then the lights flash on and off. And I don't know if you can hear this, but a little ticking. Man, it's like something really pleasant about that in my ear. I don't know what it is, but I really, really like it. Tunahan, what's up? Brings back memories. That's good to hear. Were there ever hide and seek server? Yeah, I think it all started out in 1.6 on the Nipper map hide and seek. I think that was when the mod emerged on that level specifically. I remember playing on those servers back then. Hide and seek 2 mainly. So that's DE Survivor. Now I want to take a look at the next 3D Mike map, which is just wonderful to me. It's not anything super special, but I just like its aesthetic. It just feels really quaint to me. And I think it's mainly because of these little crickets. Can you hear that? Ah. That's just wonderful. Every time I hear Gold Source crickets, I'm just elated by that. I love that so much. Can you hear these little crickets? Oh, you know, and it's moonlit. It feels like it's like a warm summer night here. So this level is just a little playground. It has some interesting stuff in it. It's a super small map. It's, you know, basically an FY map. And this is it. This is the entirety of the map. And you'll notice something here in the center. We're gonna read this. CS Junior by 3D Rick. Huh? Not by 3D Mike, it's by Rick the little baby? Huh? Note, if you feel offended by the fact that this map takes place in a playground, just look in your C-Strike directory for a map named Junior. Copy the decals.wad to your C-Strike directory. Now you will shoot with paint. Make sure you back up your original decals.wad first. Have fun. I think this is really funny because even back then, you know, he was trying to avoid, you know, not pissing off people, you know, getting canceled and whatnot. But what was cool is that, yeah, he did include a decals.wad with this map, and you could replace it, and the decals, instead of being bullet holes, would be paintball. So you're essentially paintballing each other, even though, you know, technically you are destroying each other, and there's, you know, people getting unalived. So it's just a funny little aspect. But yeah, you got a little carousel with Bert and Ernie. Sesame Street, I guess, made it over to the Netherlands, so that's kind of neat. And this one's for Yellow Jello right here. Oh, can you hear it? There it is. There's the song, baby. Oh yeah, the 18, baby. So yeah, there's of course Mike. It's funny how he used his child's name for the map. I think that's a really, like, you know, kind of cute fatherly thing to do, if you ask me. So, yep. Oh, you were like me with the comfort of these little details. Yeah, I love it. You know, you could just hang out here. That's what I feel like. It just puts me at peace. I just like the sound of those crickets is like ASMR to me or something. I don't know. It just makes my brain fizzle. Love tiny details like lights. Princeton will have a light. Yeah. Yep. I'm glad everyone's sort of on the same page with, like, the little details kind of just making you feel something. So, yeah, the skybox is just absolutely wonderful. I wonder how that one came to be. So I don't think that's default, is it? I don't think it is. I think this is a very much 3D Mike skybox. It kind of looks like his CS Bikini one. So we'll find. Yep, it's like the paintball model from GoldenEye, that decals wad. I haven't actually used. I can't find that. I think I tried installing this decals.wad that he was talking about, but I couldn't. I don't think I could find it. So. Counter-Strike Nerf War. Yeah, counter Nerf. Yep. Replace the CSS servers, replaced it. Okay. So sometimes their option. Okay. All right. Anyhow, there's Semtex again. That's the classic little signature. And there's like some text here. I'm having trouble making this out. Dedicated to Software, the man with the plan. I believe that's what that says. I didn't notice that detail before. And this, oh yeah, this skull, this was featured on his site for a long time. It looks kind of like straight out of like a Toy Story 3D rendering, doesn't it? Very spooky. And the spade as well. Very comical looking, but that was pretty impressive for the time. You know, we're talking early 2000s 3D rendering. I was certainly impressed by it, by that type of stuff. Looks like it's on the same side. We have this random ice cream. I can only imagine why something like this just randomly appears in the map. Could you imagine he has his child, right? And they're looking at the Valve Hammer editor, and he's like, Rick, what do you want to put in here? He's like, put ice cream. I guarantee you that's exactly how it went. Got this little cabin side, little ping pong table. Once again, the crickets. Again. Now let me say right here. This is the most aesthetic part of this map, right? Doesn't this seem like just so cozy right here? A little glow. The crickets. I'll have moments like this in Nipper's hide and seek too. Just like this. It just that map feels so good to play. So I love this section here. I think that sprite really is just a nice touch on the aesthetic. Got little cabins. So as you can see, it's just a super small level. Right? And not much going on. It was probably just a fun little level he made super quickly with the inspiration of his kid on I think that's just really something special, you know. If I have kids one day, that's definitely happening. We're making Counter-Strike maps together, bro. Absolutely. So yeah, that's CS Junior. It's just a little tiny map, and I like it so much. Oh, I never noticed this floating piece of geometry here. I wonder if 3D Mike ever caught that. Gosh dang it, Rick. How dare you, messing up the geometry at the level. Oh gosh, that's so much fun. Wonder what else is in here. Yeah, I don't think much else. So we're gonna use those tree textures for the borders of the map. Yeah, huh. I've done that in one of my levels. It's the best we could do for like a bounding box for the level. Climbable skate ramp. That's so much fun. Most random thought ever, but it'd be funny if a map somehow made it so you can shoot the moon and it resizes in. Oh yeah. Yeah, unfortunately I don't think you can hot swap out like skyboxes, but that would be fun. Yeah, I always think of that. Whenever I see big, like, glowing full moon like that in games, I'm like, oh yeah, we should just shoot it, see what happens. And I don't think a lot of games have that, where you shoot the moon and something happens. So. Hey, Static. The big question, why CS? Where are the hostages? Very, very, very good question. Yeah, there's no hostages. There doesn't seem to be even a bomb site. So I'm assuming maybe Rick came up with the name, or maybe there were plans for a hostage rescue scenario in the level and it just never materialized. But yeah, my hunch is that this was Rick's idea for a map. I don't who knows how old he was then, so you know, just some goofy stuff happened and this map came about from it. I used to have these old maps, dude. I need to go back and look at some of my old comps. Yeah, you should. And if you have anything in there that you feel is worthwhile archiving, you should. Actually, if you find a scoutsknives.txt in your maps folder, dude, send that to me. Let me know the date behind it and what it says in there, because we still have no idea who the author behind Scouts Knives is. So to anyone in here who has like an old PC and you have map files on there, if you could just take a moment, you know, like just like 10 minutes out of your day to like power that PC up and look through your old maps folder and see if you can find the author of Scouts Knives, please do so. It's a mystery that's like plagued Counter-Strike since retail. So please let me know. Okay. Standard map prefix, yeah, but CS usually is coined for a hostage rescue. So, I mean, yeah, there are plenty of CS maps that people release that don't actually have a hostage rescue scenario, and that might just be a situation where they didn't know they didn't know what CS stood for. So, who knows what the situation was behind that. We're gonna go to the next map here, and this, I think Bikini looks good, but this map looks insane. We're talking about DE Deadlock, which I believe is supposed to emulate the hustling, bustling city of either Rotterdam or Amsterdam, and I'm gonna lean on Amsterdam for the aesthetic of this level. And my God, is it just absolutely gorgeous. This is just the spawn point where T's spawn. Yeah, everyone played Scouts Knives a ton, but we still don't know who made it. So if you have any information on who made Scouts Knives, you let me know. It's so funny when you search up Scouts Knives on Google, I've somehow SEO'd it so that every single forum I've posted on about Scouts Knives, that's what comes up. So if you're looking for Scouts Knives, you're likely gonna run into the threads I made like on the internet, 2 years ago, searching for the author, and like literally no one has an answer for it. So the theory that we're all leaning on is that it was just like a grassroots explosion of a popular map that just got distributed, you know, by each individual player. It's probably like some guy just created a fun little map one night and it caught on like wildfire. Maybe a server kept playing it, and a lot of people just started downloading it and connecting to that server because the players were on, and then before you knew it, it was just all over Counter-Strike, and there wasn't a TXT assigned to it, or even like an author's name, you know, made in like, you know, Nipper style, like, you know, blocking to signify who made it. So I mean, I drove myself nuts looking for the author. I decompiled the map. I tried to rip all the textures out of it and see if there's anything funny, and I'm like following random Twitter accounts and going to like, I'm like messaging some band because some guy told me on Reddit that the guy who created was a Dutch guy named Wooter, and I'm like messaging this band because I think he's in this band, and they're like, is this guy crazy? So yeah, if I'm like the you know, the conspiracy board guy with all the photos and like the red string, that was me trying to find the damn author behind this map, and I still can't figure it out. So just really trying hard to figure that one out. Major Amsterdam vibes. Oh yeah. So now we're gonna look through. Have you no clipped all of the map? Maybe his name is somewhere. I have tried that for Scout's Knives and no avail, but you can give it another shot if you're curious. You know, I don't know who the author is still to this day. I don't know you, but I love you, man. I love you too, buddy. Hey, you know, share the love. That's what I'm saying, baby. This reminds me of Xavier's map, AS Venice MAV1. It's a bit more detailed, but very similar. Okay, I'll check that one out. Dude, that was me trying to find D Bridge. That took 2 years to find. Oh yeah, good on you, dude. It's like amazing you actually like completed the what is it? That was part of G-Man's collection, huh? So anyway, sorry. Let's just push through here.
Stop, police. Drop your weapon and lie down.
Okay, sorry. I'll drop them. I'll drop all my weapons. Like, is anything gonna happen? Nah. like I was just a sprite with a spinning helicopter blade, but it looks pretty cool, doesn't it? You can imagine seeing this for the first time back then. It's like, it's really awesome looking.
Drop your weapon and lie down.
There must be like a trigger right here that you walk through that makes that happen. Ooh. The bells. That's so nice. It's lit very nicely. I think this is also a 3D mic trait where the borders of the windows are just totally black. I kind of like that. I think that looks kind of cool. In fact, it kind of gives it a more professional, crisp edge than actually texturing it with like wood. I don't know. I think that's like just like a big hallmark of 3D Mike's levels, but I really like that look. I think it just makes it look very professional. Okay. By the way, look at that skybox. Oh my god. I love sunsets, dude. That looks amazing. I love that. Looks beautiful. Just you really have to appreciate the sidewalks too. I forget what they call this style of brick laying, but that looks just that was a great choice. Here's the bike. It came back. We saw this in, what was it, CS Sealed. So, and now the garbage can is fitting for this place, because actually the Dutch have a really interesting way of doing garbage. It's like a big receptacle, and it like goes underground and like compacts and stuff. I feel like all countries need to figure out their garbage. So let's see. We're gonna go down to this big what do you call cathedral? I don't know if this would be a cathedral. I don't know what type of landmark you'd call this. I wonder if this is actually like a real building he took photos of and tried to recreate. Maybe it's like an iconic building there. I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to Amsterdam quite a bit. I'm not a stoner. Okay, believe it or not. Maybe I look like one, but I'm not a stoner. But I've been there a lot, and so I'm still not familiar with like all the landmarks. But this is like lit so beautifully, right? I mean, it's just how the V of the lights shine up on this building. And of course, he has the little sprites there. Really beautiful stuff. Mapping on my second monitor? Hell yeah, that's awesome, dude. I love seeing that. Yeah, that helicopter is pretty sweet. I think those blades look really nice. None of the in-game textures really fit for window borders. Yeah, I suppose maybe like the 50s wood texture could work. This terrace thing is climbable, by the way. I thought that was kind of neat. Allows you to get a little bit of verticality. You can hop up on like the roofs here like this. So, okay, alleyway. Let's go through the alleyway. This is a really cool aspect. Little climbable fence. Just makes a lot of sense. Now, this is the sweetest part of this level. Actually, there's too many sweetest parts of this level, all right? So, just from T-spawn, walking in through here, we're going into the arcade. Here you can get your change. And this is like the first sort of inkling you get of 3D Mike's love for video games, classic video games. You all may know that he's like a huge Street Fighter fan. So it's kind of cool seeing all these arcade machines just lit up in here. And all the classic arcade sounds. And these all must be some of his favorite games. Killer Bitch Stink. That's what I call it. Killer Bitch Stink. And all sorts of games here. I don't know what this one is. Ninja Spirit. Just joined in to that guy in the chat. Yes, there were hide-and-seek maps. I remember playing a lot. That's old-fashioned glass back. Is that what they call that? Must be a Dutchman. Been to Amsterdam, and while this is similar, I don't remember any areas looking like this. Yeah, so I'm not sure if it's Rotterdam, but it might be Amsterdam because Amsterdam is where the red light district is, and that's featured in this map, which we'll get to next after this this room here. Yeah, I think most of the textures here are based on real photos. Because we didn't have AI back then to just generate all this stuff. You really had to go boots on the ground and figure out what you wanted. And I love this like green lighting here. You want to make a Counter-Strike map. Find some way to finesse some green lighting into it. You'll really fit the era with that. You know, like don't you feel like you're like in the Matrix looking at that? It's so cool. Those lights were baked into the texture. Some of them might. So good. I'm wondering if it's actual lighting or if it's baked. Yeah, I don't know. Looks like an average Dutch town. Yeah, I haven't explored much outside of Amsterdam, which I always wanted to go to Rotterdam. I believe this is T-spawn. And he got it right. You know, these like beautiful little archways. You know, just colliding with the buildings and everything. It's so beautiful. Little Dutch police. And this is a bomb site. You can plant here. Little sprite glow off of the street lamps. And now we're going into the next spot. Even though those machines don't look exactly like the real ones, it's still awesome. It is awesome. I just stumbled into the red light district. Is weird. On the corner was a police station, then a weed store, then a brothel, all kind of. You know what's funny? I went to Amsterdam with my dad, and there's nothing more bonding with your lovely father than seeing prostitutes in the red light district together. Nothing more bonding than that. Okay, so we're in the red light district, and here's some hosties.
Waving your gun around don't impress me much.
And they make little noises. Sexy.
You're 18, kid.
Interesting stuff, huh? And who's that a photo of, huh? Is that... I can't tell who that is. Does anybody know who that is? Who's that a photo of? I have no idea. Actually, this model looks like Angelina Jolie. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually is her face. They just took and...
Are you sure you can afford me?
Yeah, maybe. I got 1,600. 16,000. Probably the guy that made Scout's knives. Yeah, you're funny, dude. Okay, and then there's like a secret room. You can enter through here. Or I'll show you the other alternative method into getting in here. This is the other bomb site. It's a big armored vehicle. And we're going to see what happens when you blow it up. Okay? I think you guys will find that fascinating. There's this secret little alleyway here. You wouldn't know to go in here. But it's got a breakable little wooden door. And you go up this secret alleyway. Look at this little alleyway here. It's so cool. Secret alleyway. We're going up. This is where all the pots grow. And you notice it has the CS Crack House like looping song. I don't want to get copyrighted, so we're gonna stay away for the time being. But it's Minh Lee. I didn't want to say in case I was, wrong. It might look bad on me, but yeah, I think it looked like Minh Lee. So let's plant the bomb. We're gonna wait for this to tick down, and then we'll let's see if we can maybe just get a little cool vantage point here from up top. Oh, I don't know if this will kill me. A little too close to it. Let's see if we can just kind of just see a sliver of this truck here. Hopefully we won't die from this far away. Whoa, look at that. Well, there's sparks. We're gonna go inside that cathedral too with no clip and see what's going on. A bomb's about to explode. Beep, 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 beep. Don't kill me, please. Look, there's gold inside. Woohoo! Isn't that fun? I love that. Just a little tiny detail. You wouldn't see it for very long, but I think that's really cool looking. So let's see what's inside here. I saw something sparking. Did you guys see that? I wonder what that was. Let's do a little no clipping. Let's do a little investigative. What is that? Let's go toward that. What is that? So curious.
Fight.
Is that this? Oh, I wonder if that's the sparks from this. That's I'm not sure. I'm assuming it's that. But yeah, are there any Easter eggs? Like, if you're... Whoa. What's this? This is weird. What am I looking at here? Just like little voids. I suppose we forgot to do this in other levels of 3D mics. Interesting stuff. I love doing this, going out of bounds. You can really see how everything's put together. Isn't that fascinating? Whoa, I'm excited. I shouldn't have crouched. I'm stuck. Stuck in the crouched speed. Alright, now we're fast. We're zooming. Underneath the canals here. I love these canals. This whole thing is just picturesque. I mean, most European cities are, but... yeah, he really just captured the vibe entirely of a hustling, bustling town in Netherlands. So beautiful. And I think you can climb up somewhere here. Forget where. Oh yeah, here. This is another kind of cool verticality spot. Kind of be sneaky. Stuff like that. Yep. Whole place is filled with weed plants. You got some weed plants here. It's like it must be a little weed shop thing. Yes, Fefor, yes. 3D Mike is the detail king. I think that's what made him so popular, really. Not just, not just details, but just, just solid levels. really. And I feel like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like Deadlock did not get the spotlight it deserved.
Police, drop your weapon and lie down.
I feel like this map, gameplay wise, probably works, but I've never in fact played it with any other players, so this is on the list. I have so many maps that unfortunately they came out too early, so I didn't get to experience them in their prime, and other kind of maps took precedence over them. So this is one I definitely want to play in multiplayer at some point. Look at that pool table, it's so beautiful. Green lighting again, baby. Love this like green to blue here. You really feel like you're in an arcade. It's awesome. Okay, yes, Yellow Jello, go ahead. I'll be here. Hadouken. Yep, when the bomb goes off, something special happens. Let's see what happens when we do the bomb over here. We haven't done this yet, I don't think. I don't remember what happens with this. So let's just zip on out. See if we can get a little. I don't think we're gonna get a good, I don't know, viewing of the bomb going off. That might be a little too dangerous right there. But we'll zip back around once it explodes. I'll just catch up on chat in the meantime. This is supposed to be Amsterdam, I believe so, or Rotterdam, but I believe Amsterdam because it has the red light district. So color of nasty water is spot on. Yeah, I can't remember what the canal water looked like, but I don't think it was very pretty, to be honest with you. Hopefully I don't die right here. Someone who visited the Netherlands, I was not expecting canal water to be this dirty. Oh yeah. Yeah, I can't remember. I just camped in the arcade for sure. Oh yeah, look at that. Big explosion. The vehicle's all destroyed. Looks pretty sweet. Got some... Oh, these are pushable. Huh. Bike too? Oh, no. Interesting stuff. So that you can get back up top. Oh, is this climbable? Oh, all this is climbable. I didn't know that. Yeah, a lot of detail in this level. I don't know if I glanced over too many of them, but too many of the details. Just really, really beautiful looking map. I'm still so curious how he sourced the textures for this. It's a lot of fun making your own textures, just kind of hitting the ground, just taking photos of stuff. Hopefully you don't look like a weirdo. One day I went out, this is like, you know, in my neighborhood, and I took out a ladder to go take photos of the sidewalk to get a concrete texture. And I bet people were just looking at me like, what is this guy doing? Why is he on a ladder? So, I don't know. Okay. Let's see. This one plays solid. We knife only in the arcade. Oh, you do? That's funny. Plays with 10. Feels decent. Okay. Looks like it would play pretty good layout. Yeah, I'm curious. Alright, died 1v1 to someone hiding in that upper building where you can hide with the black border. Oh, yeah, that'd probably be a good hiding space. Just pop out. It's kind of only good for that one bomb site, though. So, kind of curious how that would play. Half of speedrunning instincts kicked in when that object got pushed. yeah. I don't think you can do that in CS though, huh? I think they have like some code that limits your speed. Yeah, probably does. If the bots can even manage to get out of the canal. Cinema. Yes, Germany has a pretty popular red light district in Hamburg. I had no idea, really. I thought that was like a strictly Netherlands sort of thing. Know that. Map would be pretty cool map to be remade for Source as well. Yeah, I think so. I think it'd look pretty good in Source. The thing about Source, though, before we move on to the next map, because this is a kind of interesting comment. I feel like the Source engine really sucked all the color out of the game. And what kind of kept me playing 1.6, just from like an aesthetic point of view, is that you have so much more vibrance in the game. It feels a little more cartoony, you could say, but if you wanted to apply the grittiness to a level, you still had the option. But for the most part, I think Source was it was in that stage of gaming in the early 2000s where like they were trying to mute the colors and bring realism and like a grittiness to it. And I don't know, like I think I appreciated that for a little bit, but then it just kind of yeah, I like color, and I think the color is really good in this game. Oh yeah, it would make for a good CS source map though, regardless. I agree with that. Literally about to take a ladder to my truck to make a texture though. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, take some photos. You could, and we have great thing with like making your own textures that you have a camera in your phone, and everyone has a smartphone these days. So making textures is super easy. But a lot of we didn't have phones that could do that very well. I mean, we did. There were some phone cameras, on like flip phones and stuff, but yeah, I think for the most part, you had to go out there with a camera, and you either shot film or you had one of those fancy digital cameras that, you'd take like a, the file size would be huge on them for your hard drive, and you'd take photos and find some way to connect it to your PC, and then Photoshop away. Hopefully, whip together something kind of at least somewhat good. Quality in the photo fidelity, because as you can see, people are releasing maps today are making levels with textures that have a lot more fidelity than whatever 3D Mike was shooting on back then. And like these textures do look good, but imagine if he had an iPhone that was shooting high fidelity photos, and he's taking it into his fancy new Photoshop CS whatever, and making textures that way. I mean, this map would really, really pop. It would be competitive with anything on the Source engine, I would think. So, I take pictures of moss all the time. Don't feel weird about photographing textures. Yeah, you just got to be shameless about it. This map would get confused with the map Deadlock if it was on Source, though. I haven't heard of that map. I actually don't know too many CS Source maps. Duisburg also has apartment buildings full of ladies of pleasure. Don't ask me more. You sly dog, you. That's funny. I guess I'm getting filled in on much more than level design on this stream. Good night, all. Long live Goldsford. Hey, night, Fevor. Thanks for coming by. There's some CS4 that look quite colorful. You kind of make it look like this if you do some lighting just right. A lot of default HL2 and CSS textures look a little bit dull though. Yeah, and part of me is that I just haven't explored enough of those levels, arguably. So, that's just my knee-jerk take when I kind of checked out of CSS sometime after 2005. That was probably like the last time I really sunk my teeth into CSS, and just committed to 1.6 fully for any future Counter-Strike release. Didn't do much with Go. Played a little bit of CZ, and like barely any CS2 at this point. So you know how I am. I'm the 1.6 guy through and through. Hamster beer, yeah, that little sign there. Some source maps def have desaturation going on some of these, but it's why I love Nipper, Dr. Boo, Alpha Kenny ones, abstract maps the most. Yeah, they did restore the color in a lot of those levels for sure. Yeah, Nipper brought the color back in CSS for sure. So, this is 3D Mike's next map, and this one is called EE747, which might confuse some of you, right? Because we have a CS map called CS747. Let's just check that out real quick. These maps are not related, and for one reason specifically. Anyone remember the layout of this map? I can't even remember half the time when I play it. It's not Oops Air, it's Seal. This map is crazy, by the way. This map is nuts. It's a default map, which is even crazier too. Here's the little Easter egg, by the way. I know we're talking about 3D Mike, but There's the Easter egg for this map. Epilepsy warning. My bad, guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, this plane has no relation to 3D Mike's DE747. But if we were to go out like this and look at it through spectator view, boom, look at that. Oops, air. And I always thought that this plane was the same plane that crash landed in DE Survivor. But unfortunately, I don't think it shares the same kind of storyline. But think about how neat that would be, right? You have the Oops Air plane from DE747, and then right here in the cockpit, which we're going to talk about this cockpit here in a second. This thing is so beautiful to me. Everything about this is just like delectable. I love the green. Once again, you got to put the green in there if you really want the aesthetic. Would it be cool if like the T's, they blew up the cockpit there, right? And then the plane landed in DE Survivor. Wouldn't that be cool if like if the timelines crossed like that? I don't know. I just think that'd be sweet. So, what's up, Lean? How are you? Glad you can make it. So, starting at the back of this level, I think one of the coolest features of this level is this little gate that opens. And look at these boxes. They kind of trail out the back. And they go, woo! Where did they go? And see, right now I'm kind of fighting the jet stream. Whoa! Hopefully I can get back in. By the way, look at this. Isn't this beautiful? The red lighting. Oh my god, it's like out of like a movie. You could say that about a lot of like the newer 3D Mike maps, but yeah, wow. He's mixing a lot of Half-Life textures with his own textures here. It's so beautiful. And you know, he's really paying attention to color, the aesthetics. Like this little box here is glowing. Ooh, there's even a little extra piece of geometry here just to make those buttons stand out a little bit more. I didn't notice that before, but that is a really nice touch. I gotta remember that. See that? That's really beautiful. Wonderful lighting here. And T's, when they spawn like, you know, they're just scattered all throughout this section here. You know, they're on top of the crates. They're standing here. They're standing right here. So if you want to punk one of your friends who's AFK, you just hit that E button and send him out the airlock. I love that. It's so much fun. So let's go walk through here. There's actually like a really sad aspect about this portion of the map. If you listen carefully, there's a dog barking. There's a dog barking down here, which is really sad to me because, right, we're talking about a shootout in the bottom of a plane, and there's a dog. Do you hear it? It's a dog barking in a crate. It's so sad to me. But yes, so that's this section of the map, and I believe CTs start on this end. So you know the battles can get pretty brutal right off the bat. Like they'll happen real fast. So this is like a little cockpit entrance. Forget what this does. Oh, okay, this locks one of the. Or actually, I don't know what that did. Huh. I'm not sure what that does. Yeah, I don't know. Here, look at this little reflection here. It's just a texture. Let's see, what did he do for that? Okay, it's a little glass overlay. Okay, and that sink is actually real geometry too. Huh. Wow. That's some hard work right there. Interesting stuff. It's a very cramped level. So straight from the get-go, CT spawn, you have a bomb site right here. Oops, food at every choke point. And then you can get into the cockpit of the plane. So let's talk about the cockpit here. Wow. Wow. This is just incredible looking. I mean, this everything about this aesthetically is super impressive. You hear that? You got the flight control talking. Got a little texture cut off here, but damn, does it look good, doesn't it? Just all these little doohickeys. I'm so confused by all of it. But yeah, you really feel like kind of cozy in here. All right, this looks amazing. Whole map pack with storylines linked. Yeah, that'd be fucking so cool. I'm doing good, Lane. Thank you for asking, brother. Landmarks or vehicles or whatever like are canonically connected. Yeah, I wish they were, but I don't think they share a storyline. But man, he should have done that. Wouldn't that be sick? Yeah, the glass over the buttons looks good. He did it here again too, and that really gives everything sort of a pop. That's a really good technique. I think he did it up here as well. I think so. Yeah. Can't really get in there that well. Yeah, he did it here too. Just like a little floating texture front of the panel. Really, really cool technique there to make stuff pop in Gold Source. So we're going through the cabin now. Got a level 1.6, not even playing it, just looking at it. Yeah, exactly. I'm right with you. Now, one thing about this keyboard, I'm pretty sure it's reversed, right? Because that's the space bar. I think this is the mouse pad. So, you know, I don't know. Is that like a Dutch keyboard or something? But they're playing CS on a plane, which is pretty neat. Let's see what's behind this texture. Oh, it's invisible. I never noticed that before. CS Inception. Oh yeah. Anyway, but that dog occasionally walked around and scratched on the door that's behind in the hallway. Inferno and 1.6 creeped you out. I don't know that one. I haven't paid attention to the dog in those maps. The light baked in on some of those textures? I'm not sure. I think this is all just natural lighting. I could be wrong though. Actually, this looks a little phased here too. Popped out. Yep, that's popped out too. Interesting. Cool technique. Of course, 3D Mike would do it before anyone else, you know? Quad lighting is great. Oh, yeah. Same vibe as a save room in a horror game. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, this is cool. Look at the poster here. We have DE Survivor. This map just has, like, it breaks up the monotony of the walls with, like, these posters. So here's CS Junior. And it kind of gives you an idea of how many maps he released before he got to this level. And I don't believe CS Bikini appears on the walls in this. So, but this is a cool Easter egg here. This gives you an indication as to where these levels he's made are in the world. And here the map is dated to January 2002 of its release. Predator plane. Can't really tell where this would be in the real world. Anyone have any clues? Sealed Bay, Junior Isle, Survivor Peak, Deadlock City. Interesting. So one cool thing about this map is that you can break these airlocks. See the door just went zooming, and then it kind of sucks you out of the plane. Let's see if we can make it to the wing. Ah! Can I stand on this? Yeah, you can. I'm really fighting the push. I didn't know you could stand on this. Let's see, what else can you stand on for the plane? It's pretty cool that all this geometry here, you can just kind of stand on it. Which is kind of an interesting concept for a level 2. Just like standing on this big old plane here. Ooh, we're at the top. It's actually, it feels really cool walking around on this thing. It's absolutely a juggernaut. And one thing about the gameplay flow of this level in particular is that I don't remember it being that great because it's like, you know, a big hallway. So it's kind of hard to fight in a hallway. It does make for the rounds to be a little quick, but yeah, for the most part, it's not super great. See if I can get back in here. Oh, we got a round reset. Let's just die. Whee! Bye-bye. Oh, I didn't die. That suction is such cool uses of pushes. Yes, Richard Franks. Hell yeah. It's so much fun. Okay, and let's go on the upper quadrant of this. Notice this looks like it plays better than CS47. I think it's more fun than CS747 personally. It's a little faster paced. So here's these floor tiles. You can break them and you can see the toilet, which is kind of weird. Their bathroom planes don't usually have a undivided wall in them, but you can also climb up. It's kind of neat. Pretty cool stuff. Let me get a sip of water real quick. Yeah, little upper area. Once again, basking in that wonderful, delicious green lighting. Love that stuff. Yeah, and these are breakable. So that's kind of fun, you know, strategically. If you can find a way to bust this and you know someone's hiding around this corner, you're really going to cause them a lot of anxiety trying to fight back. I think that's so much fun. And I think you press, there, it's like a way to trigger something, but I can't remember. Remember there's like a big shaking emergency thing that happens. I'm not sure if it's randomly triggered or not, but I love all those destructible items in this level as well. It might be a situation where you have to break all of the doors for the plane to start freaking out. So let's see what happens. Okay, we'll come back for these two because they're closer. Let me do this one, and then this one, and then this one. Something happened? No. Oh, here it is. Something? Yeah, there it is. It's shaking. We're shaking, baby. Got some turbulence. Yeah, so this is pretty much the entirety of the map. Just have a lot of corridors. Whoa! Looping around here. So last but not least, let's just plant this freaking bomb. See what happens, huh? Right there. Boom. All right. We're going outside of the ship. Plane. See what happens, huh? You know, because he's known for like changing the environment when a bomb goes off. So let's just see what happens. Destructible ceiling tiles, like an office complex. Yep. Just like that. I see a 747 and this next to each other in the map cycle would be fitting. Yeah, I would say, like, as far as like, I think a lot of people have thought about making a CS map on a plane, but this lunatic actually did it, which is just amazing. And I like, it must have been a really time consuming, kind of like a mind breaker to. Here we go. Oh my god, look at that. It's a lot of explosions. Yeah, it must have been quite a mind bender to make a level like this, because you have, you know, not only is the inside fully modeled, but the outside is like fully modeled as well. So quite a lot of work. All right, we're getting down to the last few. I think we just have 2 more CS maps to go take a look at. So we're gonna go to the next one. And check it out. So this is CS Greenhouse. And you'll notice that it's borrowing a lot of the assets from the earlier deadlock level. Let's go take a look out of bounds real quick here. I love how you could just get away with doing this, you know? This little floating sprite for trees. I think those are 3 different sprites put together to make one kind of illusion of a tree. Really neat stuff. Nice little textures for the border. This looks like a 3D rendering to me, doesn't it? Or like at least a screenshot of the map, and then he converted it into a texture. Pretty sure that's what he did. Took a screenshot of Deadlock and made a little environmental texture like that for the background. That's so neat. I love that. That turned out really good too. Zella, hello. How are you? Hello. How are you? Glad I could catch this. Primordial Fiend smiles from T. Oh, hey, dude. What's up? Glad to have a familiar face on board. Thanks for joining, buddy. Yeah, we're taking a look at all of 3D Mike's levels. So, just hanging out. I was hoping at least the windows would break. Yeah, the windows didn't break on DE747, but, you know, guess the side doors were good enough. See, are these floating? Now, this is something I noticed about 3D Mike. He will let some geometry float. And my belief behind that, the reason why he did that was so that the compiler wouldn't mess up, like it wouldn't cut and mess up like the lighting on the geometry. Because for a map like this with as many details that are in it, you probably don't want to be assigning everything to Funk Wall, right? Because that would take up a bunch of your resources when it came to like including all the entities. So I think that's why he floated some of these things, and I'm not sure how many things got floated, but yeah, they're just floating ever so slightly, and I think that was his own technique used to, you know, take it easy on the compiler. So kind of interesting. So let's just walk in here. CS Greenhouse, right? It's a hostage rescue map. And these ladies aren't speaking to me this time. It's so funny. If you don't have the correct sound files, these hostages are gonna sound like the default CS hostages with the deep man voices. It's so much fun. Renault Twigo spotted. What is that? I'm sorry, I don't know what that is. Oh, I noticed that now his boxes here are branded. Kind of neat. Renault, that's a car, right? It's a car. The car in the background. Okay, right. That's because I did spend some time in Europe, so that did trigger something in me. Could it be for jumps? Yeah, that too, maybe. I think it's just for compiler's sake. But that's also a good guess. God, some strong glass. I feel like if you knifed glass once, it would probably break. But what do I know? Okay, so this is like the entrance. And we're walking through. I'm assuming that these are just little images noting the noting the people who helped out make the map. Of course, we can see 3D Micapede. There's a Ska RA7. I'm not even gonna try to pronounce a lot of these, but boom, we're here in the greenhouse, which is just a cool concept for like a level. You have this kind of faux environmental space for fighting in an otherwise commercial dead center spot of like a town. And this looks really cool, this little waterfall here. Very peaceful looking. Nice flow here of the water. Looks like it's two different textures on top of one another. Got the ripples, and then of course the funk water itself. Got a nice little bridge to pass through, and these like little light posts here just really spices everything up. I love that so much. And you can hear the crickets again. Look at this, you little wood plank to go up to the top of the level. And I can imagine, you know, people like kind of camping out here, kind of trying to stealthily blend into the environment in here. Right, this tree here looks like pretty lethal. This spot right here, I wonder how many people died just to using this as cover. You can't pass through it, so that's one thing, but you can definitely shoot through it. Very lethal. You know, yeah, you haven't seen the crate lifting on other maps and done intentionally. Yeah, usually to me it like signifies a mistake, but there must be like a compelling reason behind it. I want to check here too. It looks like he did it here too. So this is it's very deliberate, his choices for doing that. I'm assuming it was just to like optimize the map for some sort of compiling thing. This is like a boiler room. I'm assuming that this like pumps kind of humidity into the greenhouse. Now, one thing that's funny is that I made a CS greenhouse map, but I realized 3D Mike released a CS greenhouse map, so I had to rename my map to DE_plant house. Friggin' 3D Mike stealing my map name. Now, this is the most high fidelity A-team vehicle I've seen yet. It looks really beautiful. It even has a license plate. Looks good, man. Any non-entity brush will carve into all the touching brushes, especially terrible with cylinders. You're right, it's just optimization. Yeah, that's my hunch. This map is sick, that's right. So this is where CTs would like repel in through this compound. They spawn in here. And you can see the little trays for all like the little flowers stuff where they're growing stuff. They're gonna go plant in the greenhouse. I think they're all the same flower. Not sure what those are. And then this kind of catwalk here, you get a little vantage point. I'm sure this is where T's like to hide out. They can get behind CTs because this is a hostage rescue zone. Unless you use Funk Detail, but it wasn't a thing back when this map was made. Yeah, I don't know when that started getting adopted, but yeah, you probably didn't have access to that back then. Let's check out these crates and see what's going on. Yep, they're lifted. Lifted. This one's down on the floor. That's lifted. That's lifted. I mean, you wouldn't know unless I, you know, pointed it out. So he had that going for him, and honestly, it all turned out looking pretty good. I think this is another hostage rescue site. Oh no, it's the it's the Easter egg. Here we go. We can look at the Easter egg again. Looks like the kids are growing up, and these are all the people. I think I recognize some of the Backslider. I think I recognize that name. I keep getting Backslider, Solo Killer, and oh, there's another guy. I get some of those people. Clan Killer, I get some of these people confused. But anyhow, let's walk through the remainder of this level. Will grenades go under boxes? Let's test that out. Let's see. We know these are floating. Yep. Whoa. What the hell? What the hell? What just happened? That was weird. What happens if I throw smoke underneath this? I feel like one of those CSGO nerds who is like trying to like optimize their like exploits and grenade throwing and the I can't keep up with these guys anymore, you know what I mean? They're like, okay, you gotta stand here and then like, you know, get your knife out and then line the tip of the knife up with like the corner of this and then like toss this grenade. You know, I'm like, I can't follow this. The game has gone over my head at this point. I don't remember anyone doing stuff like that. Yeah, it is a little bit of oversight. But here we can see 3D Mike loves Street Fighter, and here's Akuma from, what is that, Alpha something? Nice looking assets here. I believe this is all 3D modeled. I could be wrong though. He is known for making 3D models, and as you know, his forte is in 3D modeling, so. Ooh, is this breakable? Oh, nice. Okay, you can sort of just see the void out over here. I can even see like a little vent pop in and out. Just kind of funny. Let's see, where does this go? This probably goes right back out to spawn, I'm assuming. They do a 360 spin and toss the grenade at a 76. Yeah, dude, it's just insane. I can't keep up with it anymore. Yeah, okay. That's a little cool little entry point. You can call me cynical person, but I just hate CSGO, CS2, and the whole environment of player base around it. Oh, yeah. I mean, I think it's a good game, but I'm just a freaking old man, you know, and I'm just having trouble competing with 16-year-olds who have an Adderall prescription. You know, it's like it's really hard, guys. I can't do it. So, but I'm really excited to see what the creative aspects are behind the game, right? Like all the new tools and stuff like that. So, yeah. But I don't like how Go and CS2 has moved toward more of a competitive spirit, because I feel like that's not the spirit of Counter-Strike for me. Spirit of Counter-Strike for me is like, you know, custom content and just kind of using it as a sandbox for something a little more experimental than what the base game was designed for. And that's what CS means to me. Doesn't have to mean that for like everybody, but that's one of the main reasons why I gravitate toward, you know, the Counter-Strike IP, was because, you know, like I played Go mainly to do surf maps, right? So I can respect the game in that aspect because it has like some of the best custom content, right? Zombies and gun game and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. I'd rather play 1.6 or Go too. It's just too tense. I have an anxiety disorder. Yeah, man. I think I have one too. Sure, there were esports type stuff back then too, but it wasn't full on focus of the game. Just another part of it. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I had friends in clans who would play 1.6, you know, and competitively and find people to scrim with and all that. But yeah, like it was more of a shared environment with the custom map community, and I feel like they just got a little more. Both of those sides got a little more focus. You know, I was like kind of disappointed when I logged into CS2 around the time of its release, and that the custom server browser was just this tiny little icon. You know, doesn't even have text next to it. So it's just kind of like weird seeing them phase out what was so important to a lot of us in that game originally. I just was a little bit disappointed by that. So yeah, I really don't like how CS has turned into a competitive sweat game over the years, and played CS a ton because they have more casual. Yeah, I mean, I think we're all on the same page here with that. So it's just unfortunate. This is the Lord of the Rings J.R.R. Tolkien poster, and it breaks. And there's a little secret Mac, what is it, 11? Mac 10? I don't know. In here. It's kind of neat. And that leads out to the, what is it, the greenhouse area. There's all sorts of little, like, vents here that you can pop in and out from. Looks like a little storage room. This leads out towards CT spawn. Rescue the hostages. And once again, we're back on the hallway. And I just want to say that this map is textured very nicely. I think this is like as high fidelity of texturing 3D Mike got back then. I mean, CS Bikini also looks really, really good. But yeah, this map looks phenomenal. It's lit very well. It just has a great aesthetic to it. Very clean looking. It's just a very clean looking level, and you can tell he poured his heart into it. It's just really really beautiful looking. Don't have much more to say about CS Greenhouse. I guess one of the other notable things about CS Greenhouse is that it actually made an appearance in another Half-Life mod called TS Greenhouse, and I may load up the specialists after we're done looking at his Counter-Strike maps, because we only have one more CS map to look at, which is CS Bikini. But there is a specialist version of CS Greenhouse called TS Greenhouse, and it's exactly what you expect. It's a, you know, deathmatch oriented map, and I think it fits the specialists a little bit better because layout wise, I don't remember this being too much fun. I think you encounter the enemy too quick, and oftentimes this map ends up in kind of just like the hostages are not generally being rescued in this level. You're just kind of, it's just a war of attrition, really. You're just kind of killing each other until the other team dies, really. But aesthetically, I think it just looks beautiful. It also fits the clean, kind of matrixy aesthetic of the specialists, and the specialist is like one of my favorite mods for Half-Life, like, ever. It's like, it goes, for me, it's like Counter-Strike, Natural Selection, and the specialist. They're both tied at second for me. So this map fits it perfectly. And then of course he made another map called TS Dojo, which is worth exploring. I don't know if you guys have played the specialists or the specialist maps, but that one's really cool. It takes place in like the dojo from the Matrix, you know, when Neo enters the Matrix to fight Morpheus and train with his newly learned kung fu. It's a level like that. So pretty sweet. Hold on a second. What is this? FY Greenhouse? Do I have that? No, I don't have that, fortunately. But that's a pretty sweet one. I only played a few hours of TS on an RP server, but I don't see how this map would work with that game's movement. Yeah, you don't think so? You get a little wall jump here, a little dive around the corner, pew pew pew, maybe a little speed run here, do a little like dive. You know, all sorts of flipping around and just blasting around corners and stuff. I think TS environments are the best when they have like lots of corridors, right? Not a lot of big open spaces, lots of corridors, you know, maps that are kind of partitioned off and like, you know, kind of space, like big to small spaces, almost similar to CS maps, but you know, like TS lobby is a really good example of that. You know, you have like the staircases and a bunch of like the buildings inside the building. There's like, you know, lots of pillars and stuff to trick off of. Kind of you have a big open rooftop, and then you transition into like a hallway, and just a variance of this big to small corridor kind of layout. I think it works really good for the specialists. Clearly, I haven't played it. Oh well, you know, I spent a lot of time playing that game, and I think I discovered it in like 2004, 2005, and I went wild with the specialist. That game stuck with me for a long time. Me and my brother ran a roleplay server, and he played it more than I did, but yeah, we were just fiends for it. I was much more of a fan of the deathmatching than the role-playing aspect of it. And by the way, if you guys are interested in role-playing, there's a server right now being ran by a lot of like the diehard players who did roleplay back then, and like they're still role-playing today if you're interested in experiencing that. Lean helped with a lot of the plugins to make that functional. So big shout out to old Lean helping out. Specialist is an underrated mod. And this is why I think that's another reason why it felt so similar. I remember that dojo level. Yep. Okay, so let's wrap up the CS segment of this, and then we'll move into the specialist segment. I love this map, guys. Now, something really interesting about CS Bikini is that it was actually a part of a gaming mapping contest, and I believe the the mapping contest was hosted on either Game Banana or this website right here, CS Central. So the release was back in 2003, and from what I remember, this map did win first place, and rightfully so. I think right off the bat, you can see the level of detail put into this. This is a 3D model. Keep in mind, supermodels will not travel through dirty sewer tunnels. Because you should put on a community event sometime. It would be fun to play these old maps. Yes, I definitely should. I haven't been very good at making game nights, but there is a channel in my Discord where we'll sometimes get together and play. Hammer 3.4 is a nice CAD program too for designing houses and stuff. Yes, I've designed quite a few things in Hammer, which is funny. Yeah, like if I want to sketch out an idea or a layout for something, or even like rearranging the furniture in my house, I'll make it in Valve Hammer Editor, and you know that'll help my brain figure out exactly what I want to do. Yeah, this map is a good one, Sinnoa. Oh yeah, there is a source version. That's right. So yes, and by the way, that last map, CS Greenhouse, is a default map in the specialist. So anyway, so these cliffs here, when I first saw these, this is how I started making my cliffs. And I think they're just immaculate looking, right? They kind of start off with like a base here, then there's like a triangle that goes up, and then a triangle that protrudes out, and then it goes back in. And so if you're really struggling with your environmental design, just take a note out of how 3D Mike did it, because this is the way. This is the way to do it. And he is just masterful in his execution here. I know some lighting kind of turns out weird, but I think this is before, you know, Zoner Half-Life tools were like really at where they needed to be. So you can kind of see there is some goofiness to some of these, to some of the geometry here, but this is how it's done. And there's a Valve Hammer user by the name of Vomit, I believe, which is kind of a funny name. And I would say he's the next example of how to do really, really good terrain work. If you're interested, you can find him on the TWHL Discord server. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, this is how you do it. This is exactly how your cliffs should look. They're just beautiful. They're interesting. They're varied. It's almost like random and natural looking. A lot of attention to detail. They collide and mix just so perfectly. And I love how the texturing of it just blends so well, right? The grass and the moss growing up into the rock. Just beautiful looking stuff. And yeah, once again, you know, the lighting hits some of it weird, but this is just super impressive stuff. Especially this little cliff like here. Oh man. CTs will spawn on this thing, you know. Just looks so beautiful. Got this wonderful red brick road leading up to this gate. And this is very clean texturing, man. Yeah, you could tell this guy's serious about what he's doing. Oh, CS Bikini also appeared in TS, the Specialist. So he has like 3 maps in the Specialist mod, which is really cool. And this is one of my favorite Specialist mod maps as well. Cool thing, this is a 3D model. And as I mentioned before, 3D Mike is, you know, he's a 3D artist. That's his forte. So I love seeing a level designer mix all their skills together. And unfortunately for me, when I was making levels, you know, when I started off with Valve Hammer Editor, the only thing I knew how to do was make geometry. I didn't know how to make textures or sprites or 3D models. So just to see a level designer use all of the skills that they use, you know, in their trades applied to a Counter-Strike map is just truly special. So here's the courtyard area. And by the way, just to elaborate on that point, you know, there's a lot of famous level designers from the Counter-Strike or Gold Source period, but to have a mapper know a lot of the skills outside of just creating the level, kind of rare. Kind of a rare thing. You didn't have a level designer who was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna whip this up in Milkshape 3D, and I'm gonna make this model here from scratch, and I'm gonna animate it. Oh, and then I'm just gonna go around town, take a few photos, and take some time to make some transparent textures in Wally, and then I'm gonna make a few sprites here, and I'm gonna make this like like a lot of them, they usually were just level designers. So just witnessing this little ball on top that 3D Mike made, I mean, that's just really impressive, right? I remember we were looking at a Nipper map. We were looking at Xmas Lodge, and I was saying, "Oh, it's so cute, those little skis." Remember, I was pointing out the little skis, right? And he made the skis with the geometry in Valve Hammer Editor. Well, someone like 3D Mike would see something like that, and he'd be like, "Oh, well, I would have just modeled those skis and put them in the level that way." So, you could tell this guy was on like a different level with his knowledge when it came to software back then. And that I don't think it was very easy to learn about all the different tools you can mix together to make a level, right? So he was really on like another plane of existence when it came to put, aesthetically pulling a map together. It's super impressive. Little doorbell here. Bing bong. And you can climb up this pipe here. I'm you. Bum, bum. We're gonna look at where that sound's coming from in a second, but here's the main hangout on the patio of the pool. I remember when I was a kid, I studied Zen cliffs to make better cliff geometry. Yeah, that's another method right there, and I think they did pretty good in that section of the game in Half-Life as well. Yeah, well-placed spawn points are very overlooked. That's true. I like that little sound effect that you hear when you jump into the pool, because usually when you jump into a water in Half-Life, it doesn't really make a noise. So that's kind of a cool little trigger for that. And then also look at this groovy, like, the lighting painted onto the tiles. I think that is just a really nice touch. I love being underwater in Gold Source games. Isn't that kind of relaxing to you guys? Isn't this kind of nice? I really love that. Here's a little steam room, sauna. This is always such like a bastard spot to like camp in. Yeah, love that. And then of course these are 3D models too. And they're just slightly animated. Can you see them kind of tilting? Yeah. 3D models here. Same with this. Little climbable sort of thing here. All 3D models. Really magnificent. And this must be some of his artwork. Got a babe on a weird motorcycle thing. Looks like it's out of Connecticut. You guys remember that PlayStation 2 game? How long would it have taken to compile a map this? Oh my god! I would assume like all day. I think you'd have to have like a spare PC running at like an office. I think he explains how long that takes in one of his interviews. So yeah, I should find that. I'll have to post those interviews if I can find them again in my Discord so you can read them. It's super fascinating. Yeah, I think he had like a work computer or something that he used to compile it, and you just like leave that computer on overnight. Come back in the morning and like check to see if it compiled. It's like that's such a pain in the ass. You want to change like one thing, and then you have to leave the thing compiling for like another day. So much work back then, but gosh, did he come out with a really cool product. This is quite impressive looking for a Gold Source map. Yes, absolutely. Got some photos on the wall. All the different elevation is impressive too. So many maps are just on a flat plane. Yeah, this level has very interesting levels to it, right? Like even just here in this courtyard, like this moves up, right? That is fascinating. That's a very good point to make, right? Just this like tiny little hill leading up. It's pretty cool looking. It also kind of like when it goes down like this, it kind of protects you as a CT when you're rescuing hostages, right? Because the T's can't peer past. If this was on a flat plane, they'd be able to shoot you, but since you kind of dip down a little bit, it kind of saves you a tiny bit, you know? Very, very good observation. Wasn't there a guy that made a CS 1.6 map that went on to make Karachi and... Oh, really? I didn't know that. Wonder who that is. You know what 3D Mike is doing now? Hope he is a level designer or something. I have a link in my description, linking to his website if you want to check it out, Lean. Should tell you a little bit of information. I think he's doing it. He's doing everything. He's doing animating. He's doing 3D modeling, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, you could read about him. You can even see his face on there. I think he's like crossing his arms, looking like a G. You know, funny. I think, you know what's funny about the Call of Duty thing is that I think Nipper was offered a job too, and I can't confirm it, but I feel like I remember reading on Joe.2 a long time ago that he turned the job down. But he was here earlier. I could have asked him. I should have asked him, but I didn't think of it. There's a lot of questions I could ask Nipper. But yeah, I think yeah, maybe there was like a time when the COD guys were trying to source talent from these Valve custom modding guys, you know. Kind of interesting. Okay. So yeah, hostages once again. And this is interesting over here in T-spawn. There's this little tennis ball shooter. And it makes a nice noise. You like that noise? I really like that. And if you stand in front of it, it will hurt you. It actually does quite a bit of damage. 25 damage. Quite a lot. That is a good noise. Here's the Easter egg, of course, behind the wall. And we can see all the people 3D Mike was in cahoots with. And his kids. The whole family. Rick, Dan, Sisa. The 3D family. So wonderful. All right, we're going to go loop around. And we're going to go check out some other artwork. Of course, got the Street Fighter playing. Huh.
I won't do it. I am not like you.
I've never seen this movie, but kind of cool that he incorporated it into the level. Very neat. This is a little bedroom, and this is like his old website design that he put onto one of these computer monitors, which I think is kind of neat. Just a little glimpse of, what is that, Windows 98? Or maybe it's XP? I can't really tell. Because I know you could do classic mode for XP, but I think that's Leon the Professional. Some more artwork, of course. I think it's Fear and Loathing. There's Freddie Mercury. I can't tell a lot of these. There's Bruce Lee. You're just getting a little glimpse of what inspires 3D Mike. Is that Bill? Oh, it's Bill Hicks. That's funny. All right, let's go downstairs. And I'm gonna park my babes right here. Leave them there. This is a totally 3D modeled car. I'm not good at cars, so maybe one of you guys can name what this is, but it looks freaking sweet. And you can jump on it, too. McLaren F1. Yeah, I knew that. I knew that. Lean, I said that before you typed that. I swear. I knew that. So... there's a sweet little car in there. And then one thing I think that's pretty sweet is that you kind of have two entryways into this back alley. You have this, which is more of a stealth approach, Or you can blow this explosive thing up. And now we have a big cutout in this wall, which is pretty sweet. I love all the bricks kind of just sticking out and everything. So cool. Really nice looking. Also, what a fun thing to have like this little barrel. I was thinking he didn't know. He's like I can't decide which one I want. He put both of them, which is pretty neat. But yeah, these like big barrels here, like storing who knows what. Really cool aesthetic. We should try and bring our babes. Hey, babes. Let's go grab the other babes. Here's the foosball table. I believe this is all 3D modeled too. So that's pretty neat.
Okay, let's go. Let's get the hell out of here.
You notice they have like dude voices?
Get me out of here. Let's go.
Hell yeah, dude. Nice.
Okay, let's go. Let's go.
All right. We're going to go through the sewers. Let's see if they'll follow me. Nope. They won't follow me. I believe so. 3D Mike must have struggled trying to get like a pathing for the hostages, unfortunately, and they just won't. They're just not smart enough to go through there. But yeah. So let's go rescue them and look at the rest of the map. I like having a babe entourage. It's kind of fun. Babe entourage. There we go. Come on, ladies. So yeah, we're in the kitchen now. Not too much detail in here, but I do like the little oven there. I feel like there's only so much detail you can put in this level before it starts getting like heinous on the compiler. We got upstairs. And this is pretty funny. I always love this little Easter egg. Thank you for a great night, Mike. And there's like little kissy lips on there. That's so much fun. There's a little balcony here. And I got the babes on the balcony. Oh yeah. Well, I don't think we're going to be rescuing them in time. But trust me, they're safe with me. Wait, can we make it? Aw. Dang it. Couldn't rescue him in time. So, let's go explore the beach now. And I think the beach is, like, super cool for this, this level. You veer off here. And just walking through this little cove here. Just so neat. Right? Doesn't that feel good? Just look at that. It's like you get greeted by this big sprite lit, like, you know, sun. Little scary shark. Just these ever so gentle waves crashing in. And I believe those are 3D models as well, that wave. Which is such a great touch. Of course, the shark fin is an animated model as well. I believe there's seagulls, which are also modeled. So he's really throwing everything at this level. Got sprites for the trees, models, all complete custom textures, and sounds. Right, you can hear the beach here. And the seagulls. This is just such a place of peace. You almost feel bad playing around a Counter-Strike here because of its beauty, you know. I love this portion of this map. It's absolutely gorgeous. Super peaceful. The women chasing you down must have overheard you say gold source mapping. Yeah, dude. Let me tell you, whenever I start yammering on about gold source mapping, the women go crazy. Life hack. The only other ones that would be like the train, nuke, officer, inferno, con, like shipment. So yeah, here we are climbing up to our little wonderful patio space. Taking a little seat here. I like how the aesthetic of this level feels like it's more than something oriented for gameplay. It just feels like a real place that you want to hang out at. It's just super lovely. Every aspect. I think one of the cooler parts of this level is the rooftop access. Just pop off. Just walk around. Really, really good for teas. Check out this little pipe here. You know, just like a tiny thing like that, paying attention to detail like that really makes a level pop. That's not geometry. That's someone took, you know, he took time to model that. And it looks pretty good. Same with these smokestacks up here. These are 3D models as well. And he does that signature sort of, you'd say like the black texturing. He doesn't really know exactly what to put there. And I don't know, something about it just kind of seems professional to me. Now, one weird thing about clipping in this map is that I never understood why, like, when you jumped like this, you kind of hit a wall here. I never really liked that. I felt like that was kind of annoying. But yeah, there's a wall right there. You can cut the air and it makes noise. Unfortunately. So yeah, I think that's the entirety of CS Bikini. And it is just, it's lit very well. Lots of detail everywhere. The textures look amazing. The skybox is just superb. And look at this, like, little rocky, I don't know, crevice, if you will. That just turned out real neat. Got a little bit of texture stretching, but it does look really, really vines and it's definitely a map that was a complete labor of love. He did this type of thing here too. Pretty good. A lot of complex geometry here. So you can tell he had to be real clever about fitting it all together. It's like super impressive stuff. Super impressive stuff. Yeah, it is a weird spot. Put an invisible wall. I'm not really sure why that's like that, but yeah, because I'm stuck on it right now. It's so weird. Not sure what that is. Maybe this is Mike's real 3D retreat. Yeah, I wonder. I wonder. Resort map on Gmod? I haven't played that one. I always thought about how Golden Age of CS and Golden Age of COD crossover game would be like with the quirks and mechanics of both the Gold Source, Source and Gold Source engine and the old COD engine like mixed together. Yeah, I suppose you sort of got that with Activision's precursor to COD, that title Soldier of Fortune. I feel like Soldier of Fortune 2 was like the genesis of what modern COD became. Check that out. Look that game up. It's fucking awesome. So anyway, that's CS Bikini. Oh, I didn't notice there was another bird over here, a little seagull. Animal cruelty. So now we're gonna go check out the specialist. Let's see if I can get that configured real quick. Just want to show you guys that game. I think it's a wonderful game. We're gonna look at just some 3D mic maps in that game. I think you guys will come to appreciate how wonderful the specialist is. If I can find that. Pretty sure I have it installed somewhere. Played it the other day, so oh, maybe I don't. Wonder what's going on. I don't have it installed. Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I can't find it for some reason. Huh. Yeah, I don't have it for some reason. Well, anyway. I can't showcase those levels, unfortunately. But, I guess, like, my last words on CSB, or just on 3D Mic in general, is that, just a master class of a level designer. I don't think we're ever going to see levels quite like that in Gold Source. That caliber. But there are some people making some really cool stuff these days. But I think what this guy did was put real magic into the game. I don't know if he's like, a wizard or whatnot, but this, his works were just like legendary, something else. And yeah, he should get all the credit he deserves. He's a really talented person. And I hope to interview him in real life one day. That's right. I'm coming to the Netherlands and we're doing a sit-down interview, buddy. We're doing it. So hopefully I'll reach out to him and get something going. So I'd like to take a trip out to Europe and have an excuse to do so one day. And talk with the Michael Visser himself. Okay, so last things. Just want to say, if you live in the Pacific Northwest or if you're close to Oregon, we're going to be hosting an event August 16th through the 17th. We're going to be playing old Half-Life 1 mods. We're going to do a LAN party. You should show up. I'll have a link in the description after I publish this live stream. And you should show up. You could shake my hand. We could become friends and play some games together. 2-day event. We're going to be playing all sorts of Half-Life mods. Counter-Strike. Sven Co-op, the Specialists, Natural Selection, all sorts of mods. So check that out. Also, if you like playing old Half-Life 1 mods, check out Gold Source Saturdays. Every single Saturday, they play a different Half-Life 1 mod at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and you can vote on a new mod every single week. It's a lot of fun. And lastly, if you have time, also in the description is Michael Visser's website, 3D Mic's website. You could check up on him and see what he's up to. Send him an email. Tell him how much you appreciate him, what he did for Counter-Strike. There's also a good channel. It's in German. It's called The Book of Counter-Strike. And he covered 3D Mic in one of his videos. And if you are okay with reading subtitles, it's a pretty good watch. So I highly recommend that. Without further ado, we've been live nearly 3 hours. So I had a great time. I really love talking about Gold Source content and Counter-Strike. And, in real life, I don't really have a lot of people to discuss these subjects with. And, like, subjects about the game, Counter-Strike, and other Half-Life mods, it hits me really hard. And I don't really have, like, a space to share these ideas. So I think these live streams are, like, a fun place to do that. And I love seeing, you guys come in here and chat with me and leave comments and stuff like that. It's just a lot of fun. So hopefully we'll do another stream here soon. I'm gonna showcase some more maps. I would like to do like a stream dedicated to some of like the best snipper maps and everything, but honestly he has so much content, it's really hard to cover it all. But it would be kind of interesting going through his chronological map releases and see how things changed over time for him. I want to check out Squall. I want to check out the names Yellow Jello listed, like G-Man and all sorts of other people. I'd like to look at lots of KA maps as well, more winter maps, spooky maps, just kind of theme it all, and then eventually like start talking about stuff outside of Counter-Strike as well. So appreciate you guys for stopping by. If you're a new viewer, please subscribe and join the Discord. We like talking about this stuff with you guys. So I think that's all for tonight. And once again, we're just going to be doing probably a stream once a week. just kind of talking about one of these subjects, and that's all. I'm just gonna respond to the last comments here. Love to see an interview face to face. Yes, with 3D Mike, that'd be freaking awesome. Love the stream, crazy. Love the subject. Thank you, Freeman. Appreciate it. Thanks for streaming, crazy. You made the last couple hours of work a lot more bearable. Yes, I do realize like a lot of people put these on while they're working, so that's why I try to be a little descriptive when I'm talking about the subject matter here, because I know it's like a very much so like a visual medium. So I try to make it easier on you guys who are kind of listening to it as if it's like a podcast. So hopefully it's all working out great. Maybe one about all the different niche game types. Yeah, I just try to talk about the stuff that I'm most familiar with, because I don't like fudging things. So I could try that. I've always been interested in like the weird game types like football and stuff like that, or like, I don't know, Pokemon mod kind of interests me, but I don't have too much information on those things. So always something to talk about gold source and source content. Love your streams, man. Thank you, Sinawa. Yeah, I mean, I love it too, and I feel like we're creating a good ecosystem where people like, you know, share their stuff and kind of get the word out about their own channels and what they're doing. So I'm always excited to hear people people, you know, if they're making content. I like seeing it, so feel free to share. Great stream, man. Good night, Rodless. And I think that's all. I understand sticking to what you know, but it would be fun to see your reaction to maps you've never seen. Yes, I think that would be fun time. I'll give you one doll hair if you cover my maps, but most of them are copyright music, so it's out for YouTube. Yeah, well, post them in the Discord. We could see what we could do. Good night, Yellow Jello, and Merry Christmas, everyone. All right, take it easy, everyone.